Another welcome back to you on a warm night in our nation's capital for the All-Star Game. On a night that showcases baseball's biggest stars, we begin our tribute to America's greatest heroes.
Heroes come from the same kinds of places. Places no one else would ever choose to go. Situations that are dangerous, unpredictable, unimaginable. It's in these moments where heroes are born. For generations, the United States military has represented the very best of America. With men and women defined by unconditional selflessness, extraordinary bravery, and an uncommon valor, serving and protecting the nation they hold dear. And for the best of the best, for the greatest of military heroes, the highest commendation bestowed is the Medal of Honor. The Medal of Honor is presented for acts of gallantry far above and beyond the call of duty, conferred upon those who risk their lives for this country and their fellow man in the crucible of combat. You don't win a Medal of Honor. It is earned by the rarest of heroes. Heroes who reveal the remarkable capacity of their character, sometimes paying the supreme sacrifice. Medal of Honor recipients come from every corner of America, and they connect us through the ideals they proudly represent and the respect we hold for them. Their extraordinary spirit and legacy are an inspiration to us all. And tonight, in our nation's capital, it is our honor to welcome these true American heroes.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the field at this 2018 Major League Baseball All-Star Game, 29 of our nation's Medal of Honor recipients. And now, let's meet them. You need to hear their names, and if we can ask, and it'll be hard for you to do, that you hold your applause until we introduce each of these American heroes. Command Sergeant Major Benny Atkins, Colonel Donald Ballard, Colonel Barney Barnum, Jr., Sergeant Gary Bykirk, Master Chief Special Warfare Operator SEAL Edward Byers, Colonel Bruce Crandall, Colonel Roger Donlin, Specialist 4th Class Michael Fitzmaurice, Lieutenant General Robert Foley, Lieutenant Colonel Harold Fritz, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Hagemeister, Navy Captain Thomas Kelly, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Kettles, Command Sergeant Major Gary Luttrell, Major General James Livingston, Colonel Joe Marm, Jr., Specialist 5 James McLuhan, Sergeant First Class Melvin Morris, Command Sergeant Major Robert Patterson. Master Sergeant Leroy Petrie. Colonel Gordon Roberts. Staff Sergeant Clinton Romachet. Captain Gary Mike Rose. Sergeant First Class Ronald Rosser. Specialist 5 Clarence Sasser. Sergeant Major Kenneth Stumpf. Major James Taylor. First Lieutenant Brian Thacker. And Corporal Herschel Woody Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, on this field, on this night, here in our nation's capital, let's salute these Medal of Honor recipients. And now, to honor America, we welcome to the field community choirs from the Washington, D.C. area who have come together to perform the United States National Anthem. Already a powerful night here in our nation's capital. It is a warm evening for the 89th MLB All-Star Game. When we come back, John Smoltz will join me and we'll set up tonight's game. We'll have some fun. MLB All-Star Game is presented by MasterCard. It is warm, it's muggy, it's humid. We've had some great moments tonight. It's been a fun couple of days for these All-Stars, and we get set to play baseball here tonight in the home of the Washington Nationals. And now, welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck, along with the Hall of Famer, John Smoltz. I feel like I just threw 6 innings down there. It is warm in this ballpark right now. Obviously, anywhere our cameras were to point, you would find greatness. But we're going to start in the American League with the outfield that is so good and so young and so strong. I mean, it's as good as we've seen in a long time.
It really is. Power, they've got it. Speed, they've got it. Defense, they've got it. And you mentioned the age. I mean, they're all under 26 years old. The best player in the game in Mike Trout, and the upcoming superstar in Judge. All he does is hit home runs. Mookie Betts, you see what he's doing this year. He's having an MVP season. This outfield is so good that when you put the 3 of them in it, Judge is batting 6th. That should tell you all you need to know about the American League lineup.
Well, obviously a lot of power up and down. I think both you and I agree that the American League roster is stronger than the National League's here in 2018. Let's talk about the National League side. We'll pick one guy, and we'll pick the home run champ from last night in the Derby, and that's Bryce Harper. In his walk year, the power numbers are there. The average has been down.
Yeah, the average is down, but what he did last night in winning the home run derby in his hometown, there was a lot of pressure on him, and he delivered and excited this crowd. Now, what the Nationals in this crowd is hoping that the second half, they see a lot more of Bryce Harper's power, and maybe that average is a tick up. The Nationals are not where they want to be. Bryce Harper, maybe this is the jump start.
All right, so this is the second year since the whole "this time it counts." We went 14 years with the winner of this All-Star Game determining who had home field advantage in that year's World Series. So it allows us, John, to do some more kind of exhibition, spring training type feel things, and we're going to get to talk to some more players during the game while they're out there on the field.
I think it's great. I think the insight's going to be incredible at home. I would have loved to have done it on the mound to just give the viewers something different. There's a lot of personalities, a lot of talent, and we're going to get a chance to get inside their mind while they're playing.
All right, let's celebrate this great game. It's the 89th MLB All-Star Game tonight on Fox.
The polls are closed. The votes have been cast.
The results are in.
The teams are set.
It doesn't matter how you got here.
What matters is that you are here.
The people have spoken. We are your 2018 All-Stars. Welcome to the 2018 All-Star Game. Let's open it up for questions.
Mr. Harper.
Tonight, we celebrate our national pastime.
Mr. Betts.
The bat. Are you thrilled to be in Washington, D.C.?
The people have spoken.
My fellow Americans.
Oh, it's an honor to be selected.
To represent Cincinnati.
To represent Houston.
Baltimore. Cleveland. Colorado.
Millions of ballots have selected our all-star teams.
What's your message for the people?
I'll cover all the bases.
Defense is a top priority.
The buck stops here. A dream come true. Next question, please.
Any big plans?
Can you make a difference?
Are you making any promises?
I promise to swing for the fences.
To move fast.
I can catch anything.
I'll close the deal.
The American League, the National League.
How can rivals get along?
We will have to work together.
We're team players.
We'll have to work together.
Próxima pregunta. How can we believe you?
Hey, I can spin it any way you want.
Bring perspective with the left.
And with the right.
What's tonight all about?
I'll speak softly.
And carry a big stick.
The whole world is watching.
From our nation's capital, it's time to play ball. The 89th MLB All-Star Game on Fox.
We're done here. No more questions. We're done here.
Oh, hallelujah. For one night in our nation's capital, doesn't matter if you're liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, everybody comes together to celebrate our national pastime, and a nice moment after the Star-Spangled Banner. Talked to Dave Roberts, the manager of the National League players. He said, I'm going to urge them to go out, meet these heroes. Dave Roberts was born in Japan. His father served in the Marines for 30 years. He lost his father, Dave Roberts did, a year ago March, so at the beginning of last season. And he takes his Dodgers to the World Series that year, and before game one at Dodger Stadium, he took a vial of his dad's ashes, went out to center field where he used to play for the Dodgers, sprinkled his dad's ashes into the outfield grass as a way to just remember the moment, guiding in his second year his club to the Fall Classic. He's a special guy.
Here he is leading the All-Stars, hopefully breaking the tie.
Come on, boys, let's go.
And why does John Smoltz say that? Look at this, kind of crazy. The American League has won 5 straight, 8 of 9, and because of that, 43 wins on each side with a couple of ties. So 43, 43, and 1 for each side in the previous 88 games during the All-Star game. All right, let's look at the American League batting order. Mookie Betts, Jose Altuve, Mike Trout. In the middle, it's J.D. Martinez, Jose Ramirez, Aaron Judge, Manny Machado, Jose Abreu, and Salvador Perez, who is starting his 5th straight All-Star game, stepping in for the injured Wilson Ramos. So Max Scherzer, who has been phenomenal since signing here with the hometown Washington Nationals after starting with the Diamondbacks and going to the Tigers. He's starting the All-Star game for the National League for the 2nd straight year, 3rd All-Star game start, and he will take on Mookie Betts to start his night. And standing by with Mookie Betts is our own Ken Rosenthal.
All right, we're here with Mookie Betts. He's getting his last practice swings in. Mookie, it's Max Scherzer in his home park. He's going to be throwing heat, breathing fire. What's your plan?
Get up there and ready to swing. Got to compete at this point.
All right, Bryce Harper last night, you called it, winning the home run derby. What's your prediction for All-Star MVP?
You got to go, MVP. Whew. That's tough to say. I got no idea on that.
All right, go up and hit. Thanks, Mookie.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point your mind kind of goes blank before you walk in there. He's as good a pick as anybody, not just an MVP for an All-Star game, but he's good enough every year when the season starts to be an MVP for the American League. Our 4 keys to the game as we begin to settle into this 89th MLB All-Star game.
Yeah, the National League's going to have to get off to a better start with their starters. You see the ERAs. There hasn't been a lot of runs scored from the National League in the last 5 games. So whatever starter gets off to the better start, looks like that gives their team the edge.
Off we go. And that's poured in there at 96. And he misses up and in for ball 1.
Well, this game will be pitched with the most emotion and energy that Max Scherzer has to offer.
fly ball down the left field line. It will end up out of play.
And what I mean by that is it's the closest thing to a postseason game, but then you throw in your hometown, you're pitching in your home city. He is in phenomenal shape. To have that kind of energy and that kind of motion and that kind of effort, you've got to be in good shape to control it all.
33 years old. He's been with the Nationals since 2015, and that was foul tipped into the glove of Wilson Contreras, strike 2. So the second straight All-Star game start for Max Scherzer, and on the other side we'll have Chris Sale making his third straight All-Star game start. The 1-2. 2-2. Betts has got it all. He really is a 5-tool player. There's a nice note. First reigning Cy Young Award winner to start the All-Star game in his home park. Betts is leading the AL in average. He's got 23 home runs, 18 steals. You name it, he does it. He strikes out.
Well, we're going to see a lot of those tonight. That's nothing new to baseball. Strikeouts have gone up every year, and Max Scherzer with the best of them. He has just entered the first ballot Hall of Fame talk, and especially if he continues this season, he's headed for another Cy Young, 3 in a row to be exact.
You see, he's just huffing. He is ready to just pour it into whoever is standing in that batter's box. And that guy is a reigning MVP in the American League, who winks at that strike over the inside corner. He was fooled. Strike 1.
Well, the base hit's not dead for this guy. We may be all time down on base hits, but that's all this guy does. He pours out hits. He is unfortunately yet to check into an All-Star game for a hit.
Riding at 98. Strike 2. A 3-time batting champion is Jose Altuve, and now a world champion with a team that might be better than it was a year ago when they won it all, the Houston Astros. Hello, 2 out.
You know, Joe, for some opposing managers, their biggest fear in an All-Star game is that their starter gets too carried away and too geared up. But with Scherzer, you know he has ripped that mold apart. He's been durable, he can elevate the ball, and the intensity of that look, and of course the 2 different eyes that he's been so famously known for. This guy's personality fits Washington. That's why when they signed him, he's lived up to that huge contract.
He really has. By the way, his manager is in the dugout, Dave Martinez, keeping a close eye on the guy that is at the top of the list as he blows it by the great Mike Trout for strike 1. Scherzer trying to get the Nationals hot again and back at the top of the division. What more do you say about Trout than he's the best player in Major League Baseball? That's it.
Absolutely. And unfortunately hasn't been able to get to the playoffs enough. You see the numbers. He's going to be in the top 3 in just about everything. MVP either first or second every year.
Boy, he is just filthy. Strike 2.
Scherzer has struck out Trout 10 times in their matchups so far.
He's gone up, down, in, out.
Trout's only weakness is up in the zone with fastballs, but he's become so much more disciplined of late. He could chase that and strike out a lot. He's cut down his strikeouts. He loves the ball down. I would think this is going to be a 3-2 slider here out of Max. Oh, he wants the heater.
Oh, that's just, as some would say in the game, good old-fashioned hardball. Here it is. Mike Trout, do your best.
It's such a funky delivery in his arm angle, but he repeats it, and he's got his checkpoints like every pitcher does.
early on with Arizona, which led to the trade. I'm sure a lot of people thought there's no way he could stay healthy throwing a baseball like this. You see the determination and unorthodox delivery.
Trout's loving it. I think so, Scherzer. A 2-out walk.
Nothing new for Trout. Of all the numbers, this is the most phenomenal number that I've heard. In his entire career, Trout has gone the most he's ever gone without getting on base, 2 games.
It's just hard to imagine a guy who's still just 26 years old, won't turn 27 until next month. He just keeps getting better. And how good has J.D. Martinez been for the Boston Red Sox?
He's unreal, signed a big contract, covers every part of the field with power.
First All-Star start, and he grounds one up the middle for a base hit. Trout will turn and go. A little juggle in the outfield, but he'll only reach third, and it's first and third with 2 out as J.D. Martinez, who's third in average, tied for first in home runs, first in RBIs, hits no matter the night, no matter the pitcher.
Went up there looking for a fastball. That's the biggest challenge for the starting pitchers tonight, because every hitter should be looking to hit the first pitch fastball because they don't want to deal with the stuff that all these guys command, and certainly what Scherzer has. Here's an MVP candidate, probably the leading candidate for the Indians, Jose Ramirez.
Not sure that people realize just how good Jose Ramirez is. Breaking ball for a strike. He's got the most extra base hits since the beginning of last year. Another 5-tool player. He's got power. Finished third in the MVP voting a year ago for a terrific Cleveland team, and he pops it up. Baez sees it. I don't know that Crawford did, and the inning is over. A scoreless frame put up by Max Scherzer, bottom of the first. NL coming up. Year that Chris Sale has been the starting pitcher for the American League in the All-Star game. Lefty Gomez did that for the Yankees in the 30s. Robin Roberts did it for the Phillies in the 50s, and just sustained greatness by the 6'6", 181-pound left-hander of the first-place Boston Red Sox. National League batting order: Javier Baez, Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt. In the middle, Freddie Freeman, Matt Kemp, Bryce Harper, Nick Markakis, Brandon Crawford, and Wilson Contreras. On the back end, standing by with a leadoff man, Javier Baez, is Tom Verducci.
Javi, 3 weeks ago, a first-time dad. Tonight, a first-time All-Star. What a year. Tell me what this night means for you.
Oh, huge to be here, this opportunity. You know, trying to enjoy and have fun with the boys.
Okay, now, I know how much you love to swing the bat. I'm going to ask you anyway. That's Chris Sale out there. Tell me what the game plan is.
Well, he throws hard, man. He throws hard. We just got to hit the fastball. Let's see what I got on his fastball, man.
Go get him.
Thank you, man.
All right, Baez will try to get it started for the National League side. And as you said, John, runs have been hard to come by for the National Leaguers against the American League over this last stretch, and just been dominant pitching. Obviously, you get the game's best, but the NL hasn't been able to string hits together.
They have not, especially multiple hits.
Here's a base hit on the first pitch. And Tom Verducci just became Javier Baez's good luck charm. What a year that kid's having. 72 RBIs. Most by a Cubs second baseman at the All-Star break in their history. A salute and a knock.
Well, that's what I was saying. Starting pitcher's dilemma. You got a good fastball, but you know in this typical game is not going to be what a regular season game's like. Guys are going to be swinging and swinging early. Sale slider, one of the nastiest sliders in the game.
Here's Arenado. He gets under one and skies it into left field, where Aaron Judge, who's never played left in the big leagues, hauls it in, one out. First pitch swinging. Nobody wants to strike out.
No, they don't, and they don't want to get deep into the count, because the angle that this slider, he will show us the slider before it's all said and done, is so hard to pick up for right-handers. They think it's going to be a strike. It starts way outside and ends up down. And for those of you at home thinking you got to be a beast to pitch, parents, he's 6'6", 181. He's not Adonis. It's genetics and the ability to repeat your mechanics.
And a 7-time All-Star as he misses the inside corner to Paul Goldschmidt. Paul represents the Diamondbacks and is playing in his 6th straight All-Star game. He hits for power, hits for average. He can run, got off to a slow start, but we just figure to find him at the All-Star game every July. That's a strike.
Yeah, the sky was falling, and everybody was following his career saying what's happened, and then he turned it on in June, and he's been one of the hottest hitters rallying to the All-Star game.
Here is a 1-1 pitch. That's strike 2. Talk about getting hot and kind of persevering. The Dodgers, they did a lot of their damage without Clayton Kershaw every 5th day, out with a bad back. He's back now, and the Dodgers have a half-game lead over Goldschmidt's Diamondbacks here at the break. Two out, nasty.
And there it is. Because the arm slot comes out of the same place, the fastball slider combination, I'm telling you, these hitters have been made look foolish by this pitch right here. And the movement, you see the tracer, and it's just a nasty, nasty arm angle. Not to mention left-handers not having much of a chance, but it's really right-handers that he strikes out the most with that pitch.
Batter now is Freddie Freeman, top vote getter in the National League. First start, 3-time All-Star for a surprising Atlanta Braves team. They're a half game out of first behind Philly, and what a job Gabe Kapler has done in his first year as manager in Philadelphia. And the hometown Nationals here are at 500, 5.5 out.
A lot of people feel that the front runner for the MVP might come from Atlanta. Freeman, and Albies doing a great job to that upstart. Albies, of course, tremendous power for a little guy. Freeman doesn't give much against left-handers or right-handers. He's able to stay in there. Talk about unorthodox. The way he hits, very unorthodox.
In the air to left center. Gliding to it. Mike Trout. Leadoff hit by Baez. He is stranded. Who's coming up? Big number 99. Rookie of the year in the AL. Aaron Judge. Is the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and the only brand to earn J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs 3 years in a row. Well, no score after one. No surprise with that. Scherzer back for another inning. And he will first face Aaron Judge. That's strike one. 77 home runs through his first year plus in the big leagues. He's going to end up with a record for the most home runs over the first 2 full years of a big league career. That we know. But another thing we know that might be as important is he rips one into left. Back at the wall, Aaron Judge. Home run. The 26-year-old who has electrified the Bronx and baseball shoots one out of here.
Yeah, higher than high, lower than low, but in this middle part, right at the belt, he gets on top of this fastball. See how he pulls his hands in? He's so strong. And he's got 5 of the hardest hit balls in baseball. It just so happens his teammate Stanton has the other 5 and an early lead for the American League.
And now Manny Machado, and there's so much to talk about with regard to Machado. That's kind of the rub of these all-star games. You want to talk about everybody. He flies one into left, and that will be easy for Kemp. 1 out. What I was going to say about Judge, and it's worth reminding fans, those who see him, it's one thing to be a superstar in New York. It takes the right kind of person to be able to handle that success. And the Yankees are as proud of this kid and the person that he is. And in this day and age, you better have the right guy step into that spotlight or they'll just flash, and that's not Aaron Judge. He's a good young man.
He is, and I'm rare to ever see a guy wearing a Yankee uniform where around the country, every stadium he goes to, he's cheered for that reason you just mentioned, the way he carries himself.
So then Machado flies out, and this will likely be the last time we see Manny Machado in an Orioles uniform. He went after the first pitch, flying to left. He's moved over to short. He is the most talked about player on the trading block, with the deadline coming up at the end of the month as Abreu strikes out. We didn't even get to talk about Jose Abreu. We'll get there. But Kenny Rosenthal, where does it seem likely Manny Machado will end up?
Los Angeles with the Dodgers, Joe, and it looks increasingly likely that's going to be the spot. The other clubs involved believe that's the outcome. The Orioles would receive a package of prospects. Machado would play shortstop for the Dodgers.
Well, Corey Seager, the Dodgers shortstop, the terrific Dodgers shortstop, is out for the rest of the year, has undergone Tommy John surgery, so that is the biggest piece any team could add for the stretch run. He's a free agent to be. The Dodgers are willing to pull the trigger on that deal and try to win it here in 2018.
Yeah, let's not forget the Dodgers have some pressure on them. They haven't won a World Series in over 31 years. They came close last year, and it makes the most sense. Whether or not they were able to part with the package that would make the Orioles happy, it looks like they've gotten close. Maybe there's a deal imminent, and I think it puts them as obviously the favorites in the National League if that's the case.
Salvador Perez at the plate, got the start when Wilson Ramos couldn't go because of a bad hamstring. So here he is with his 5th straight All-Star game start. Jose Abreu is making his first All-Star game start. Second time All-Star, struck out. And Perez waits for the 1-2 and taps it foul. Talk about a guy who is just rock solid behind the plate for the Kansas City Royals, and a big reason why they won it all a few years ago.
Yeah, amazingly big but agile, and what an unbelievable job he has done behind the plate. You see the most consecutive starts now, climbing the list.
His innings caught. That list continues to grow as he grounds it foul down the left side. Still 1-2.
Well, the Royals are obviously going in another direction, but Perez, such a big part of their organizational success.
And this will be a 2-inning stint for Max Scherzer, but he will walk off this mound and head in for a shower, and he will be worn out on this warm night with the emotion and everything that's bouncing around inside of him. He is just cutting it loose.
Yeah, a lot of energy, and certainly want to do well in his home crowd. And he's made a lot of great pitches except for one to Judge.
There's another one to Perez. A nice block by Contreras, and that's it for an inning and a half. Aaron Judge, he knows how to hit him, even in the middle of July.
It's hot and muggy here in Washington. Speaking of hot air, another Ken Rosenthal report is next. Rain is in the forecast. I hope the humidity is not messing up your hair. John, you don't have to worry. Back to you guys in your air-conditioned booth.
He's got like, it's a combination of a lot of things. You got Al Roker mixed with, I don't know, whatever comedian you want to fill in the blank with. That was good. Mike Trout is out in center field. You can hear us, right?
I can hear you guys. What's going on?
Look, we're going to pick our spots here. We're not going to wear you out there in center field as Matt Kemp faces Luis Severino. And Kemp shoots one down toward the corner and left. And Matt Kemp, who's had a revival with the Dodgers, is legging out a leadoff double. And that's what greets Luis Severino. Kemp, who last started in 2011, has been to San Diego, Atlanta, now back with the Dodgers. He's a great story, and he's got a double to start this second.
Yeah, it's an amazing gap between All-Stars, and it happened to be back with the team that he received his first All-Star. And there's Manny Machado taking a picture. Who knows? He may not have to take a picture after too long.
Well, Severino, it's just a new world. He got a selfie coming in, the infield around him. I mean, the record is great. The ERA is great. The Yankees have won 18 of his 20 starts. Here's Harper going after the first pitch. All right, Mike Trout, tell us about that first at bat you had against Max Scherzer. That was fun to watch.
It was fun in the box, man. He's battling, I'm battling, the crowd's going crazy. They're chanting his name, obviously hometown. It was electric. I told Teddy when I got that home plate, he was amped up, man. I love that stuff.
0-1 the count on Harper. That's a strike. 0-2. You're now playing in center behind Severino on the mound. You've seen this guy enough. He has really matured.
I'm just happy he's on our team.
99 miles per hour and harder, the most thrown this season. Severino leads, and that is a filthy pitch down and in. StatCast AI powered by AWS. And a strikeout for the first out here in the second.
Wipeout slider, tight spin on it, following the 99-mile-an-hour fastball you talk about. He's cleaned up his mechanics. He's very quiet and very difficult to hit, especially when you have to honor that kind of velocity.
Batter now will be Nick Markakis. A great story. He's been at it for a long time. Yeah, Mike.
That was my one thing I wanted to say congrats to him when I was there. I saw him in the lobby under the tunnel. Make sure I did that, man. I'm happy for him.
Yeah. For a guy that's been at it for as long as Markakis has been at it, and by the way, has been a really good hitter and player in the big leagues, he finally gets to the All-Star game.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, you know, a little different path than you've taken, Mike Trout.
Yeah, it's crazy. He deserves every minute of it, though. He's hitting .323. I'm looking at that. I don't get to see him much. Obviously, he's on in the National League and on the East Coast, but I hear a lot of great things about him.
This one rides up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
All right, I've gotten a chance to see you up close, and not only do you have power, speed, you're strong. I want you to give me an example of what it's like standing up next to Judge, your counterpart
over
there.
Man. He is extremely large. It's great, though. He's a good dude, good kid, and right there. All right.
And there he is on cue. Playing left field.
He probably he didn't get it at all.
He didn't care, right?
He just flicked it out to left field. It's that easy.
Yeah, you look at it. We're showing the two of you a size comparison. I mean, you're massive. You'd probably rather play for the Philadelphia Eagles anyway, wouldn't you, Mike?
You know it, baby. Go Eagles.
Congrats to you. They won it. They did it.
You know it. Carson, hopefully Carson, Zach, all them guys are watching.
You're a season ticket holder for Philly, right?
I am.
South Jersey guy, Philly. What's the deal with the weather? I mean, I know Al Roker's made weather sexy again, but what's your fascination with weather?
You know, my pops got me into it when I was a kid, and you know, my whole family, we all follow it. You know, but I'm on another level in the off season. I like to track storms. I get to follow up with Jim Cantore, the guys from the Weather Channel. It's I just have a blast with it. You know, it's kind of. I mean, their job's hard. It's predicting Mother Nature. You know, it's tough.
Speaking of the weather, we were there not too long ago. Record temperatures in your ballpark.
Wow.
Hotter then or now with the humidity?
Humidity for sure. I'm sweating. I wasn't really sweating in Anaheim.
1 ball, 1 strike on Brandon Crawford, who has been so good defensively throughout his career, but the offensive numbers have been getting better and better and better. And you're looking at one of the most complete players, certainly in the National League, if not MLB overall.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot more attention, a little bit under the radar, of course, in San Francisco. A little bit different to hit over there in their ballpark.
3-time Gold Glove Award winner. He lays off that pitch up 3-1. Mike Trout, you won the MVP of the All-Star game a couple of times. I get the sense you're certainly not in awe being around these other guys, and you actually have fun when you come to the All-Star game.
Come on now, that's a bad question.
No, it's not,
yes,
because some guys act like it's pulling teeth going to the All-Star game. And
obviously, you know, guys like the rest is a long season, but I enjoy it. You know, I come here, obviously get voted in, but just being with the guys across the league, you know, great athletes. You know, just being, you know, obviously we compete against them every day, and now we're all on one team, so it's always fun. We get to know each other a little bit, and we're enjoying it, all of us.
If we weren't talking to you, would you be moving around as much out in center? You're always moving around.
I always move. Got to get ready.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
What do you think right here? Slider?
Smoltz.
Fastball away.
All right, Mike. Thanks, man.
All right, good talking to you guys.
Have a great second half. The best player in the game talking to us from center. Back after this from your local Fox station. All right, Jacob deGrom is in the ballgame. Just fired a 97-mile-an-hour strike to start the third. It's a 1-0 AL lead. Reliever Spotlight, sponsored by the Hartford. 1 run on the board, courtesy of an Aaron Judge home run. And
the numbers are ridiculous for DeGrom. It's unreal. I mean, he's entering Nolan Ryan material for. Go get it, Bryce. I could have caught that, Bryce.
I bet you could have.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining us again. Second year in a row. I think that means you're like ready to get benefits from News Corp by that definition. Tell us about last night. How sore are you after last night's home run derby, first of all?
Oh, man, it was a lot easier than that bat against Luis Severino right there, I can tell you that.
Well, yeah, you were facing your dad, which had to be really cool for you guys as Jose Altuve looks at a ball. To share that with your dad, have him throw you the pitches and you make up the ground at the end and win with the extra opportunities. Good for you. And what'd your dad say after last night?
Yeah, I had a blast. I mean, just going out there and, acting like we were in the backyard, just swinging, just having fun and enjoying it. I mean, there's nothing better than going out there and playing catch with your dad or taking BP with your dad and just having fun. I mean, you always remember going to the field with your dad or doing certain things with your pops, and that's one of the best things I've ever done right there.
Altuve pops it up left side, 2 quick outs. By the way, I would not mess with your dad.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
at all.
I am sure
I don't want to mess with him at all. It'll knock me silly.
We have a picture of you when you won, I guess, a home run derby when you were 11.
Yeah, looking a little husky, huh?
A little husky. That's all right. I shopped in that section as a kid.
That's that football body right there.
And now, now you look like you got the headband, you got the hair, the beard's growing back. I mean, you got the flow working right now.
Yeah, I felt pretty good last night. It was a lot of fun. I mean, the crowd came out, and they've done it tonight too. It's been so much fun just really being around here. This could be a quick inning with frickin' Jacob deGrom right here. I mean, he's lights out. The guy is unbelievable. Having faced him in the NL East all year long.
Yeah, and back in 2015, he came on the All-Star game.
10 pitches, right?
10 pitches, 3 strikeouts in Cincinnati. Welcome to the All-Star game. Sit down.
Unbelievable. I mean, he's one of the funnest guys to watch pitch, and just everything he goes out there, his demeanor. I mean, everything. That Mets staff. I mean, if you look at deGrom, Syndergaard. I mean, Wheeler was lights out against us the other day. He was 100. I mean, so they got 3 guys that are just lights out. It's incredible.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on, and that is hit by Trout into left. It is gone. 2-0 American League on solo shots by Judge and Trout.
How good is he, huh?
He's pretty good.
I love watching him play, man. Special player.
We say it in the booth. He's the best player in the game. I know you guys are all filled with pride, but do you recognize him as the best player in the game?
If you don't, then you're not watching. I mean, this guy is day in and day out, year in and year out. I mean, one of the best in all of baseball. And, him, Mookie Betts, I mean, this guy right here, I mean, coming on strong, JD Martinez. There's so much good young talent in this game right now, and it's so much fun to watch and just enjoy. And, I mean, wow, as a fan, you look at this and go, man, we're lucky to see these guys play for the next 10, 20 years.
No doubt. By the way, you're young and you're good. You're not going to be 26 until October. Are the Nationals going to be playing in October? What's got to happen to get you guys kicked into gear?
We just got to keep going, keep grinding. We're getting our whole lineup back, which is going to be nice. Steven Strasburg coming back as well, which is going to be huge for us. And I think one that really killed us was Howie Kendrick going down with that Achilles injury. He was one of the guys in our clubhouse that really kept everybody going every single day, and we were lucky to have him. And we're missing him a little bit right now, but I think as a team we're doing a great job and got to keep going. And we're 5.5 back with a couple months to go, and we'll be okay.
JD Martinez, who singled his first time, pops it foul right side here, and it will get out of play.
Bryce, tough question to ask, but for a viewer at home, you've got a right field view. What's the angle difference when you're standing in center field versus right field?
Not much, I don't think. I mean, you see the whole stadium. I don't know. I've never really been asked that question.
Hey, can you see the signs? Can you see the signs being put down by the catcher?
Oh, no, I can't.
I've talked to some center fielders who can.
That's impressive. There's a fastball right there.
Good job. Way to go. All right there, home run derby champ. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
All right.
Another homer, another young stud for the AL. First it was Judge, now it's Trout. It's 2-0 AL after 2.5. We welcome you back to the All-Star game as the game slides into the bottom of the third inning. Glad you're with us. 2-0 American League on a couple of solo shots. Here is Contreras, and Wilson Contreras goes deep to left. First pitch swinging, and the Cubs catcher shoots one out. The lead has been cut in half.
Contreras has had his way with American League pitchers, hitting a ton of home runs off of them and not as many off of National pitchers. And he checks in. First pitch fastball to Snell's, had an incredible first half of the Rays. Inner half trying to throw the baseball, and he just gets the barrel of the bat to the ball quicker than the ball got to him.
And it finds its way over the wall and left, and a big smile on the face of Wilson Contreras as Snell sees another Cub go after the first pitch. This is Baez, who singled his first time. Contreras was very emotional when he found out he was a National League All-Star, and man, has he gotten better behind the plate. He can hit. One of the best young players in the National League.
He's so talented. And I think people misread his quotes when he said he wants to be the best catcher in the National League. Well, everybody knows that's been Molina
or Posey.
Yeah. But especially, I like his attitude. I mean, you want to be the best in the position. He didn't mean it in an arrogant way. He can do so many things for Joe Maddon. He can play other positions. Tremendous arm behind the plate as well.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and it stays there as Blake Snell is the third pitcher of the night. First it was Sale, then Severino. Here are the numbers for Blake Snell. Look at that ERA, the opponent's average. But but he just gave up the first run of the night for the American League.
He's been on a roll for the Rays. I know the Rays have been popular for starting relievers and using an array of guys to get the job done, but this young man has been on fire.
That is in the dirt, full count. Yeah, they're trying new things, mixing, matching. They call them openers instead of just straight on starters for the Rays. Whatever you want to do, however you want to get through 9 innings, go get them. 3-2 from Snell is grounded back to him, knocks it down and throws a changeup to first for out number 1. Tonight's telecast is presented by MasterCard and sponsored by Budweiser. Take some out to the ball game. And by Ford, going further so you can. Home run by Contreras. Baez grounds out. Now Nolan Arenado.
Guys, so y'all can talk shit.
Arenado pretty much pencil in a Gold Glove and 130 RBIs every year, it seems like. At least for the last 3 years. He has been the face of the Rockies and best third baseman defensively in our game.
And that string of 130 RBI seasons is impressive when you look back through baseball history. But defensively, as the 4-time All-Star is here in the Midsummer Classic again, there are some who believe, I don't know, it's hard to say somebody's the best ever, but he is easily among the, let's say, top 5 best third basemen in the history of the game.
No doubt.
That bounces in 1-2 on Nolan.
And for the Rockies as a team, the All-Star break probably came at the wrong time. They got a nice little streak, 5 in a row, heading into the break. Teammate right there, Mr. Blackman, taking footage of his teammate. You watch the feet of Arenado. He's always moving, always doing something in the box. A lot of energy.
A strikeout on a ball in the dirt. Perez blocks it, gets the out, 2 down. And the batter will be Goldschmidt with the bases empty. MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $82.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand.
I'm sorry.
There's more to this.
Go ahead.
Just hold your horses. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
That is tremendously done, even though I interrupted.
That's okay. It's okay. It's we're friends. Here's Goldschmidt, struck out against Sale back in the first. What did you have to say?
Well,
what
I was going to say for Blake Snell, I don't know who would have given him advice, but in your first All-Star game, the first thing they told me is don't throw a first pitch fastball. And guys are definitely trying to hit the first pitch fastball. And of course, his got greeted for a homer. He's been quite good afterwards.
Comebacker, then a strikeout. And now that skips in to Goldschmidt for ball 1. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially with guys up there ready to swing and expecting something to hit. Would you throw your first pitch?
Well, I had an experience where it wasn't normal, so I forgot everything that anyone told me, and I threw a first pitch fastball, and didn't work out very well. But I was supposed to be in the bullpen getting ready, and I was in the dugout. It just didn't work. I'm having a hard time letting it go.
Clearly, you're in the Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter anymore. Let it go.
I got the loss too.
Let it go. 2-2 pitch. 98 from Snell for ball 3.
He's got all 3 pitches. A wipeout breaking ball and a good changeup, and you see the 97 and 98 mile-an-hour fastball. Actually does remind me of one of my ex-teammates, Steve Avery.
Well, facially, he looks like Kyle Loesch to me. That just missed low. And it's a 2-out walk to put the tying run on. Fox Saturday Baseball coming up when the second half resumes. Cardinals and Cubs. Cubs, by the way, are in first place now in the Central. The Brewers lost 5-game set to the Pirates. That got the Pirates back in it and took Milwaukee out of the top spot in the division. Freddie Freeman.
Ball one. When you start mentioning yourself with the likes of Mike Trout, that's where Freddie Freeman has been the last 3 years, coming in to the All-Star break with slash lines of 300, 400, and 500. That's 300 batting average, 400, 3 slash lines that only he and Mike Trout can talk about. That's how good Freddie Freeman has been.
Well, he's good against left-handed pitching. He hits for average, he hits for power, and now he's kind of the veteran on a young, good Atlanta team that should only get better, not just in the second half, but in the next few years to come. 2-0 pitch is grounded to the right side. Altuve makes the play, and that sends us into the fourth. We've seen 3 solo homers, the last by the Cubs catcher, Wilson Contreras. Mike Foltynewicz comes in representing the Atlanta Braves, part of that good young staff. First pitch swing, and Jose Ramirez grounds it foul outside first. Second in the National League with that 193 opponent's average against, and that's a strike. It's 0-2.
Yeah, electric fastball, good secondary stuff. But this guy can time any kind of fastball.
That is strike 3 over the inside corner, and Foltynewicz, welcome to the All-Star game. Give you our Geico in-game box score for the American League. They've got 3 hits. 2 of them have left the park. Solo shot by Judge. That was first, and then Trout went deep last inning. That's ball one. Well, Matt Kemp has been nice enough to wear a mic and an earpiece, more importantly, out in left field for us. Hi, Matt.
Man, this multitasking stuff is not easy.
Yeah, is it a little weird to talk to us in the booth while you got to maybe chase something down in the corner?
Yeah, I was about to go up to bat with it. I was getting kind of scared.
You're not scared. I don't believe you're scared of anything. Here's Judge. He can scare you. That pitch is down in the count 3-0.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
He already has a home run. He's got 25 during the regular season. Swinging on 3-0, and why not 3-1? How about you? You have a double already, to your credit. You haven't started since 2011. Your career's come all the way back around to the Dodgers. That's ball four, and I would imagine you're enjoying this All-Star experience even more than your first couple.
Yeah, this is a blessing, man, for me to be here. It's been 6 years, man, so just to be here and enjoy it with my family and my friends and my teammates, this is great.
Well, you say teammates, and you get a chance to be here. Your manager's here, and well, here's Machado. Now, before the game, of course, we have cameras everywhere, and then you take a selfie with him. It's kind of, I mean, it was kind of weird, but it seems like Kenny Rosenthal's reporting that unless something goes haywire, Manny Machado may be your teammate.
I don't know. I don't really know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're good.
Me and Manny been friends for a long time, man. We worked out in Miami together, so I've known him for a while. We were just talking about, you know, how's the family and, you know, good things like that.
You're in the right city for that stuff. Here's a throw down by Contreras. Good snap throw and on his toes, and then diving back in is Judge. Well, we'll let you off the hook for the whole Machado thing, but you were talking about this blessing. You got family with you, and you're a deserving All-Star, a big part of a first-place club.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers are so different than when you were there the last time, and now you kind of bring this veteran presence back in. You got to be having a blast.
Oh man, it's been fun, man. We got a good group of guys, older and younger, and just to be hanging around a lot of baseball now. And you know, Doc was one of my he was one of my bench coaches in San Diego, so I've known him for a while, man. It's nothing but positive vibes in that locker room, man, and we're having a great time and playing some good baseball.
Yeah, you say Doc, you're talking about Dave Roberts. I feel like he is the perfect guy for that clubhouse. Here's one off the end of the bat, in the air, on the infield, and
fighting for it.
Handled by Arenado. He likes to physically put his hand on every one of his players, I hear, before the game, and he seems like he's never in a bad mood.
Never. Even those first couple months that we had during the season where it was pretty rough, he always stayed positive, and we just kept it going. That's how our clubhouse is, man. We have a lot of fun, and you know, those first 2 months didn't go as good as we wanted them to go, and now we're playing some great baseball, so it's been good.
Here is Jose Abreu with 2 outs.
Matt, as an outfielder, do you ever get caught up in watching one of your teammates on the mound dealing? How hard is it sometimes to get caught up in what Clayton Kershaw is doing in left field?
I mean, I've been with Clayton ever since he got caught up, and he's been nothing but I think this is like 10 years now coming up, so, or he just got his 10 years, so that's been fun. We got, you know, Strip, first time All-Star. He's been amazing. He started in the bullpen, and now he's an All-Star and All-Star starter in an All-Star game, man. So we got some guys that can deal and go.
Of course, Smoltz would ask you that question since he was a pitcher.
I'd have kept him busy. I was a fly ball pitcher. He'd have been on his toes.
Hey, man, you got to be close no matter what. There's times when Kershaw's dealing, there might be a time he might leave one over the plate. You're just sitting there and not paying attention, and you don't want to be that guy that messes it up for Kersh.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Jose Abreu. This poor guy, every time he comes up, we don't get to talk about him. On a young White Sox team. You good out there, Matt?
We good.
That's Harper. Now, Matt.
Yes.
You're leading off.
Yes.
A, good luck.
Thank you.
B, keep the mic on. What do you care?
No,
You're 33.
Heck no.
Come on.
I got to concentrate,
guys.
Come on,
have some guts.
It's already hard.
Come on.
What's up, Bobby? This kid throwing 99 miles an hour.
First pitch from Blake Snell rides up and away to Matt Kemp. It was great out in left field. He didn't keep the is the mic on? I'm being told the mic is on. That's a strike, but the earpiece is out. You could have told him
what was coming.
Yeah, what was coming? Fastball.
Might have gotten in trouble if I did that.
That's low.
Well, for Matt Kemp, he's lost a bunch of weight, got in good shape, and he's healthy. His swing has not changed much over the course of his career. Looking at a lot of video, he's so quick in, but now healthy and having a great year.
We doubled his first time into the left field corner, and he's up on the count here, 3-1. That's out of play.
Think about the Dodgers. Where would they be without Matt Kemp? Nobody thought he was necessarily a shoo-in to be on the team. Muncy comes up, does what he does.
Max Muncy, who was part of the home run derby last night.
Unbelievable. The Dodgers the last 2 years have gotten some unexpected great performances.
I'll tell you who's been great. We keep throwing that word around. Maybe it's appropriate, maybe not. But certainly kind of an unsung MVP is Ross Stripling, the pitcher.
Yeah, he's come out of the pen, filled in nicely as the starter, and of course got rewarded for that here in the All-Star. He'll more than likely go back to be a super reliever for the Dodgers.
3-2 is on the inside corner, and Kemp knew it. Second strikeout for Snell. Geico and MLB created a special moment, reuniting Air Force Special Tactics operator Staff Sergeant Cole Condiff with his family. He returned from a deployment in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Geico is donating tickets to honor military members and their families through the Geico Seats for Service program. Follow along at #SeatsForService. Here's Harper, and there's ball one.
Well, Bryce Harper, the power numbers are there, but you see the average is way down. He's expanded the zone way too much this year, swinging out of the zone more uncharacteristically this year than in years past, which made him such a threat.
First pick in 2010 out of Las Vegas, 6-time All-Star, 5-time starter, and he's 25 years old. There's a strike. Good pitch. 2-1. Here is a StatCast about pitches seen outside the zone. And StatCast AI powered by AWS. And there's an example of it. 2-2.
Yeah, he's always had a unique way that he approaches the baseball. See the front side and his kick, and he opens up a little too quick there and chases a pitch. The power is always going to be there. The average should go up in the second half. If the Nationals are going to chase down the Braves and the Phillies, they're going to need Bryce a little more locked in.
And it's just up and away, a full count. Well, as you said, I think feeling a little pressure to win, pressure to get the Nationals deeper into the playoffs, and not been able to get past the division series, and pressure in his final year to put up big numbers. He strikes out, and back-to-back strikeouts to begin the fourth. Batter will be Nick Markakis, and first-time All-Stars is sponsored by Supercuts. This is a great story.
It really is. I mean, when the Braves got him, of course, the neck surgery, and he struggled with the power, and the power's been coming back, but the average, he's always been a pure hitter. And now, after all those games, almost 2,000 games, but you see the hits, he gets a chance to be an All-Star.
Leads the National League in hits, 34 years old. I mean, he was the 7th overall pick by the Orioles in 2003, came up in 06. There was some debate when he came into Pro Bowl whether he'd be a pitcher or a hitter. He could throw mid-90s. great athlete, went just under 400 games straight without an error between Baltimore and Atlanta. And in the final year of a $44 million deal for 4 years, and he's provided protection for Freddie Freeman. And finally an All-Star. 3-0.
Well, in this day and age where strikeouts, homers, and walks, Markakis doesn't fit that build. He's a professional hitter, and he will always give you that professional at bat. His discipline at the plate speaks for itself, and there you see the NL ranks so far for him on the year. Pretty impressive.
Strike one. It's not to say that it's a shock that he's an all-star. He's just had good, steady years. The overall body of work is so impressive. 3-1 pitch is down, and a 2-out walk from Snell. And that might be it for the left-hander. Here comes A.J. Hinch. And Jimenez is going to come in.
Slice out for you. All-star. It's pretty awesome stuff.
Here comes a big right-hander with the AL up 2-1. The 2018 MLB All-Star Game is presented by MasterCard. Play continues in the bottom of the fourth. 1 on, 2 out. Jimenez into the game to pitch to Brandon Crawford.
Ball 1. I would think Crawford sitting on a fastball. Jimenez first All-Star appearance. He can throw hard for the Tigers. And that's what he's trying to do. Get 1 out. And his job will be done for the night.
It's been a breakthrough year for this big right-hander who bends one in for a strike. Obviously, a left-hander was just taken out, and Blake Snell, a right-hander, brought in to face Brandon Crawford. As you see the difference from last year to this year, A.J. Hinch is just going to play it straight. Not looking at matchups. He's looking at pitch counts, trying to get guys into the game, as many as he can cram into this 89th MLB All-Star Game. So right-hander for Brandon Crawford, and we'll see if he can take advantage of it.
Yeah, he said Jimenez would be the first pitcher to get somebody out of trouble. That was his job, get him out of trouble, and that would be his role for tonight, no matter who was at the plate. Two and two. Each manager starts with pretty much a script, how they want the game to go, and then have to adjust if the game doesn't go that way. Their goals, as we talked to them, was to try and get as many people in, stay away from certain people if they could, for situations that may be, you don't know if the game goes into extra innings.
Almost framed by Salvador Perez, low, 3-2, and that means the runner at first. Markakis will go.
Pretty good pitch here. Fastball looked like it might have caught the bottom part of the strike zone.
Contreras homered in his previous at bat on the first pitch in the third. Took up the AL lead in half. Tying run at first, 2 out. Markakis will take off. To start diving into these benches in the middle innings of this all-star game. The foul by Crawford.
Crawford so important to the Giants, and the Giants are an interesting team here in the second half now that they're getting healthier. They've got Bumgarner back in the mix, Cueto. It'll be very interesting to see that division, which has really got 3 or 4 teams that can kind of fight for the division. The Rockies with Bud Black. Mentioned there 5 in a row before the break.
And strike 3 over the outside corner. The inning is over. 5th inning will roll in. Here in DC, 2-1 AL. Game. Chevrolet and MLB provided 2 kids a once-in-a-lifetime experience as a Chevrolet Play Ball national reporter. Caden Zeller, age 10 of Round Lake, Illinois, and Joey Sisk, age 11 of Murraysville, Pennsylvania, the opportunity to interview the best in the game here in D.C.
How does it feel becoming such a big superstar?
Getting recognized, you know, the height doesn't help. You know, people always recognize me with my height.
What type of music do you listen to?
I'm a big country guy.
Me too.
Through the Chevrolet Youth Baseball Program, close to $150,000 worth of equipment has been donated, and Chevrolet has helped over 7 million kids play ball. To learn more, visit Chevrolet.com/youthbaseball. Here's part of the youth in Philly, Aaron Nola. Look at those first half numbers.
What an amazing job he has done in a very difficult park to pitch in. I mean, this guy really has been the upstart Phillies because his maturity in the league. He's a pitcher. He's not one of those guys that just throws the baseball and has stuff. He keeps the ball in the yard. He moves the ball around in and out. And it's why the Phillies and the Braves fans all around are excited about the future of these two organizations.
The pitch was down and grounded foul by Salvador Perez. 0-2 the count. Perez, then Betts, then Altuve. Perez struck out his first time. And that skips in. Philly was on the list. Maybe they still are for the services of Manny Machado. You get the feeling like they've arrived maybe a little earlier than they might have thought. So if they can add to their team, which is already good and young, and maybe they end up winning the NL East. Nasty pitch down and away, and Perez strikes out. Let's go down to Tom Verducci.
Well, even with interleague play, sometimes we get matchups we've never seen before. Max Scherzer, Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, Max Scherzer.
Well, I faced him last year and I was able to get him out, but this year, I mean, I elevated that fastball. I hit my spot, but he's just 6'7". He's so huge that I have to throw it all the way up there. So I learned my lesson.
All right, Mr. Intensity, you had the privilege few had to start an all-star game in your home ballpark. What did it feel like out there?
It was awesome to have the crowd just going nuts and chanting. I mean, that's what you dream of. I mean, that's something I'll never forget.
Thanks, Max.
I appreciate it.
Tom, thanks. Mookie Betts now after the strikeout. Perez, Altuve to follow. Nola. This is down for ball 2. How good are the Boston Red Sox? They don't lose.
They don't. I mean, offensively, they haven't missed too much. I mean, the power numbers last year were not there. The power's picked up. And really, you're talking about a staff that hasn't clicked yet. I mean, we see Chris Sale, David Price, Porcello won the Cy Young a couple years ago. So the Boston Red Sox adding that man, JD Martinez solved a lot of issues for their power numbers, and it's paid huge dividends.
Martinez is one of those guys that you can pay and not worry about any kind of intensity drop off. You see what they're doing as a team, on pace for 112 wins. The franchise record was set in 1912. Offensively, they're the best. And that combo of Betts and JD Martinez, the DH, lethal.
And the end of the game goes to Craig Kimbrell, one of the best in the game, and he is locked down.
Betts went to check on that pitch, down and away, held up just in time in a full count.
I thought he went, but I'm a pitcher.
Yeah. Let's see. Close. Yeah, close. I'm not willing to take a stand.
Well, Mookie Betts, there's an area you good luck if you think you can sneak a fastball on the inner half of the plate. He is one of the quickest hands I've ever seen on the inner half, and of course the power numbers have gone up, the average, and there you see the ranks. I mean, this is a leadoff guy with all this kind of potential.
The fans of the Red Sox recognize it. There is a strikeout, back-to-back Ks for Nola. 2 out. Betts was the top vote getter in the outfield in either league. And he's a young guy, former infielder. Played second base. They moved him to the outfield. Now he's one of the better outfielders defensively in the game as well. Here's Altuve, who was listed at 5'6". And a rocket over the head of the second baseman and into right center field. Played by Harper and back in for a 2-out single.
I believe that is his first base hit, and you can see him right there. The batting chant, nothing but hits, but that's his first one, and super excited about it. He has checked in.
Checks another box.
Fastball, guy hits it all over the ballpark. He will hurt you with some power. Teammate Springer, super happy. How can you not root for Jose Altuve?
It's impossible. He's so likable. Gets the uniform dirty every night. He's got a huge smile on his face. He plays hard. Grew up hearing that he was too small to play, and he's an MVP in the American League on a World Championship team. Here's Trout. How's that All-Star game career? 6-game hit streak, 7 for 14 for the 2-time All-Star game MVP.
It's amazing.
Ball and a strike.
I'm telling you, he has gotten better in areas each and every year. I mean, he still has his game that he could steal 50 bases. There's no doubt, right? But he's starting to lay off the high fastball, which is making pitchers angry. Because that's where you could go. You could go up. You can't go down. Now he's choosing not to swing at it for the most part.
Little pop-up. Good pitch by Nola and an impressive All-Star game debut. Halfway through it. Good tight game. 2-1. AL. Into the bottom of the 5th we go. Cam, everybody. Here in the 5th inning of the 89th MLB All-Star Game on the cap of Jose Berrios, the right-hander from the Minnesota Twins. 24 years old. Trying to get through his first full year in the big league. Spent some time in the minor leagues last year and an all-star here in 2018. First pitch, a ball, now another 2-0.
I like this guy a lot. He has learned to throw more strikes. His ability to spin a baseball, you just saw it right there. It looks like a video game breaking ball. And sky's the limit for him and the Minnesota Twins as you see his.
Here's Contreras. Machado to his left gets the out, 1 down. Contreras now 1 for 2. The limited edition Budweiser Freedom Reserve Red Lager was inspired by George Washington and specially brewed by Budweiser's veterans. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Folds of Honor, a nonprofit that provides scholarships to military families. Over the last 7 years, Budweiser's contributions have helped more than 3,000 families. So a great program instituted by Budweiser and the folks at Anheuser-Busch. The wind is whipping around, the temperature is dropping, and we understand there is weather headed our way. Baez with a big swing, a ball and a strike.
Yeah, it definitely went from still to blowing a lot. And for Baez at the plate, the amount of movement he has swinging a bat is equivalent to the amount of movement and mechanics that Berrios has on the mound. That swing gets bigger and bigger, and there's a lot of power behind that swing, but they would love to see it not expand.
But he's gotten better.
He's gotten better, and he's made improvements. That's why he's here right now representing the Cubs in the All-Star game.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Joe Madden would tell us in his office before postseason games involving Baez, if he could just lay off that pitch down and away, this guy could be Manny Ramirez.
Absolutely. And he said sometimes the bigger the moment, the more anxious he gets, which expands the zone even more.
Baez flips it into right. Mookie Betts has out number 2. And Berrios is all smiles for this. I mean, he's a kid. He turned 24 in May. Here's Nolan Arenado. Fly out and a strikeout. 3 straight years, starting in 2015 with 130 or more RBIs. Breaking ball misses down and away. He's just one of 3 National League players with a streak that long since the RBI became an official stat back in 1920. On it with Ryan Howard and Sammy Sosa. 2-0.
Tremendous respect for Nolan Arenado. Those 2 breaking balls missing. Tough to see those kind of breaking balls in his home park in Colorado. Just doesn't break as much.
Here's a 2-0. High and tight 3-0 with Goldschmidt, the next scheduled hitter.
And that really is the biggest challenge for hitters in Colorado. When they go on the road, they see a lot more breaking stuff.
So with Goldschmidt due up next, Yadier Molina will come off the bench and bat for the NLDH. Here's another guy who likes to hit in all-star games. There's two guys who are veteran catchers who are just leaders and rock steady behind home plate.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to watch those 2. And Yadi, in situations like this, he rarely does it in the regular season, but he'll sit on a first pitch fastball. Probably why he's had so much success in the All-Star game and his appearances in his career.
5 for 8 with a home run. And he shoots one into center here. Back on the track. and into the glove of Mike Trout to end the first 5 innings. And Molina thinking I came so close, and it just fell short. Still 2-1. American League, with the rain starting to fall after 5. We all know someone affected by cancer, from close friends to family members. That's why MasterCard has proudly supported Stand Up to Cancer since 2010. With the help of millions of cardholders, we've donated more than $41 million to help fund life-saving cancer research. Tonight, MasterCard sends a sincere thank you to all fans for standing up to cancer and helping to start something priceless. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Sixth inning when we come back of this 89th MLB All-Star Game from Washington, D.C. Well, a number of changes as we go into the 6th inning of this All-Star game. Still 2-1 on the 2 home runs. You saw that little piece coming back from break. Right-hander Jeremy Jeffress comes into the action, part of that good late inning relief corps for the Milwaukee Brewers. But that's not the only change. He takes over for Aaron Nola, who looked terrific. 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit. Blackman's in center, Yelich in left, Kane in right. Albies at second, Votto at first, Story at short. Eugenio Suarez is over at third. Real Muto is doing the catching, and here's Nelson Cruz, who is batting for J.D. Martinez, who was 1 for 2 while he was in there. Ball and a strike.
Yeah, nasty stuff from Jefferson. The Milwaukee Brewers have the makings of a great bullpen. They just need a little more depth in their starting rotation so that this bullpen, which last year got exhausted, doesn't happen again this year.
Well, when you think about the arms they have, Corey Knebel, their closer, was hurt with a bad hamstring injury in April. And so they had Jeffress, who stepped up, and Josh Hader. That guy right there is maybe the hardest to hit reliever, at least young reliever, that this game has seen in a while.
And nasty. Randy Johnson like nasty, and don't know if we'll see him tonight or not, but the arms have never been better. I mean, the stuff has never been more electric. It's the ability to stay healthy that's been trouble for a lot of pitchers.
Nelson Cruz with another foul ball. Cruz has been a Seattle Mariner. He's bounced around in his big league career. We all remember him with the Texas Rangers as well, but the home runs since he joined Seattle, the most in baseball, 148 since 2015. He's 38 years old. He takes a ball outside. He was suspended 50 games by baseball back in August of 2013. Involved in that biogenesis scandal. Signed a 1-year deal with Baltimore and a 4-year deal with the Mariners.
And he did something last year that I don't think anyone expected. He took a selfie with Joe West, of all people, and pulled it off. Got a big smile out of Country Joe.
That pitch is down, and Mr. Selfie with the veteran umpire takes a walk. We didn't even get in the tape to the most important part of that. Here it is. Yachty gets down on a knee.
The oldest guys in the game.
Nelson, I mean, it's smart. He's trying to, butter up Joe West.
Yeah, there's a story behind that basically Joe West would say to a lot of players, and he returned the favor, did Cruz.
That's over the outside corner to Alex Bregman, who is hitting for Jose Ramirez, and Bregman is a young third baseman for the Astros that stepped forward last October and was a big part of why they won it all. Double play ball. Step and throw, and a bad throw, not well handled by Story. So instead of 2 out, nobody on, first of all, a little stagger and then a bad throw. You know who works hard? Ken Rosenthal. He's always chasing the story, Kenny.
Joe, we're here with Manny Machado. Manny, every indication that you're getting traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers. What was your day like knowing this could happen?
You know what? Just try not to think about it, honestly. Just try to enjoy this moment. Come out here, enjoy with the American League guys, and just enjoy with all these guys that I've played with for a long time.
What about the fact that this is probably the last time you're going to wear this uniform? What are the emotions like?
Amazing, through the roof. I mean, it was a tremendous honor to wear this uniform. They gave me the opportunity to come up and play in the big leagues. That's everyone's dream. Gave me the opportunity to come and play shortstop again. You know, the organization has done everything. So if this is the last time, you know, hopefully, treated them well and, did everything I could for the organization.
At this moment, what exactly do you know about what your next step is going to be?
I'm trying to enjoy this off day tomorrow. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to get a car or not, but you know, just trying to go up there, try to enjoy this last off day, and you know, see what happens. But as of now, you know, I haven't heard anything.
Manny, thanks very much. Joe, back to you.
Well, wherever he goes, they're getting a star in this game. Manny Machado has been the apple of every GM's eye for the right price, because he's going to be a free agent, likely test the free agent waters after this year. So the question is, how much do you want to give up for a rental? Whoever's going to get him, and it seems like it's the Dodgers, is saying we're all in 2018.
Yeah, and I think if you can make that happen, that is the smartest move that the Dodgers can make. It solidifies that infield. Guys have filled in admirably for them.
The great Francisco Lindor is pinch hitting for Manny Machado, who is 0 for 2 while he was in there.
But let's face it, the last 2 World Series champions, the Chicago Cubs, went out and got a rental in Aroldis Chapman, gave up Torres for that. The Houston Astros went out and got Justin Verlander. Both
big pieces. Here's one into deep left center and into the glove of Blackman to end the inning. Right into the teeth of the wind. Tonight's telecast presented by MasterCard and sponsored by Merck, proud supporter of Stand Up to Cancer. Bottom of the 6th when we come back. On the mound is Blake Trinan, the former Washington National, who was dealt in the Sean Doolittle trade. And since leaving the Nationals, Blake Trinan has taken off.
Look at that ERA. Yeah, tremendous movement on his sinker. You're going to see it.
So they traded Trinan to get a closer, and they traded a closer away, but he just happened to blossom when he went to Oakland. Wholesale changes for the American League defensively. Joey Votto with his first at bat. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the master of the strike zone, Votto, has the count even.
As the rain falls, and that rain is expected to come in. Joey Votto, as you mentioned, laser strike zone.
99 from Trinan. Strike 2.
Now Joey will choke up a little bit more and have a different approach than the majority of baseballs. You see a little bit of the rain that we were talking about and some that's coming. Choke up just a little bit.
And he lines one into right. And handled out in right field by Haniger. Tonight's telecast is presented by MasterCard, proud sponsor of the 2018 MLB All-Star Game. And sponsored by Sprint. Switch today. That was Lindor after making the out in the top of this inning, doing some push-ups. I don't think I've seen anybody in the last, 15 years have more fun playing the game than Francisco Lindor.
Always the smile on his face. Super talented.
Christian Yelich, strike 1, his first at bat. He was traded from the Marlins to the Brewers. They inked Lorenzo Cain. They had a hold on first place for the majority of the first half of the season, and now 2.5 games out behind the Cubs. 0-1. Strike 2.
If the Brewers learned anything in their front office from last year, it's the ability to make a move this year that will be a separator in the second half. They didn't make the move last year, and it cost them, and the Cubs went on to win the division.
Yeah, they'll get something. You have to believe. 0-2. The hole seems to be for the Brewers in the rotation. Yelich down the left field line, foul.
Yeah, they just need a little more depth and going to the pen every single day, which is the common theme in today's baseball. It doesn't matter how good your top 3 guys are. If you have to use them in a 5 out of 8 game spread, you're going to be thin at the end of the year.
Their young GM, David Stearns, he has built a nice team. They seem to be maybe 1 piece short. Yelich jammed a bit down the left field line, and that will get out of play. Heard from Mike Trout earlier that he's kind of a weather aficionado. We have weather that has arrived. Wind is up. I'd love to hear from him. Just whatever his forecast would be if we're going to get through the rest of this game. So I'm told now that after this batter, Ken Rosenthal has found the meteorologist that is also a center fielder. We'll hear from him after Yelich. Here's an 0-2. One of 5 Brewers in this game. First time All-Star. 5-tool player, can do it all. 23rd overall pick back in 2010. He's been a Gold Glover, and he grounds to the right side. Tough play. Good play by Lowry. Good play by Jed. And now let's go down to the dugout, Kenny.
Joe, thanks. Mike, normally I'd ask you to break down your home run, but let's go to the weather map. This is your truest skill.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on here?
Gonna have a little bit of rain. I don't think it's gonna get much harder than this. Shouldn't be much longer. Should be clear. But it's definitely cooling off the field and the playing.
Run.
DeGrom's a good pitcher, man, and just got a pitch down where I like it, and just put the barrel on it and went over the fence.
Mike, thanks very much. We will get this whole inning in.
Let me see that radar now. Yeah, I think he's got 3rd out right now. Yeah, we will.
There he is. There it is, Joe. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Great job.
That was off the bat of Charlie Blackmon. Quick inning by Trinan. They're glad to see him back here in D.C. They wish he was still wearing their uniform. Still 2-1 into the 7th we go. Felipe Vasquez, the left-hander from the Pirates, is into the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth pitcher of the night for the National League. Mitch Moreland is at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Red Sox first baseman. The first-time All-Star and a guy who's been at it for 9 years. Finally gets a chance to play in the Midsummer Classic. 1-1 pitch. Strike 2.
Vasquez, nasty combination of velocity and slider, and of course for the Pirates doing a great job out of the pen. But what an electric arm.
Pitcher formerly known as Felipe Rivero changed his last name in April to honor his sister, such a huge part of his life. And his first-time All-Star is one of 7 Venezuelan-born All-Star players this year. 1-2 pitch in a 2-1 game. 3 solo home runs. Judge, Trout, Contreras. 2-2. Jan Gomes, the Indians catcher, is on deck. Two-two pitch. Wouldn't chase, full count.
100 miles an hour from the left side.
A strikeout starts the 7th. Before the start of tonight's game, MasterCard provided a priceless experience in DC for 18 students who participated in its Girls for Tech program. These kids are pursuing their passion for sports and STEM education, and tonight they're recognized as they join their heroes on the field through the MasterCard MLB All-Star Youth Ambassador Program. They're proof that we can all start something priceless. Here's Gomes. That's a fair ball. Suarez, good play, and a nice tag by Votto. A couple of Cincinnati Reds combined to get out number 2.
Yeah, real nice play here by the Cincinnati Red connection. He knew who was running. Votto takes care of the rest.
Now Michael Brantley. Votto's trying to get his attention. He finally did. Boy, just slinging it at 100 to Brantley. I remember Terry Francona, terrific manager of the Indians, saying that Michael Brantley is kind of the heart and soul of the team. He was injured and not a part of the fun in 2016. Sticks the bat out here, and losing it in the lights maybe is Yelich. He didn't get a good jump and couldn't see it. 2-out hit.
Yeah, that's definitely the answer you would think, because this ball was hit off the end of the bat. He just couldn't pick it up at the end. Right there, you think he's got it tracked, and then he doesn't know where it is.
And Vasquez gets to pitch a little more. Yelich, who I said has won a Gold Glove, just couldn't see it. Here's Jed Lowry. Ball 1 down and away. I know you were happy for Lowry to get this chance.
Yeah, what a great year he's having so far, and are the A's. I mean, Jed is the ultimate professional. He's bounced around a few times, but man, the A's surprising a lot of people in the American League West.
Well, they're certainly in the wild card chase in the AL right now. Houston has a 5-game lead over Seattle. But the A's are just 3 games behind the Mariners.
And they put on a nice charge. You know, the A's at this time are usually looking to make deals and going the other way. Will this be the first year that the fan base gets to see them add and make a push to try and chase down, whether it's Seattle or possibly a division?
Vasquez trying to pitch around that play out and left. 98 by the bat of Lowry for strike 1. Two-one pitch, 2-2. So he's on the list. It has been a long time coming for Chu and Markakis and Charlie Morton, another great story, and Lowry at 34 years old, his 11th season and first-time All-Star. 2-2. Pirates had that good series at the end of the first half against the Brewers. A little 5-game sweep to kind of make them feel better about things. They are 9 out behind Chicago, but trying to stay alive in that wild card hunt. Two from the lefty way outside, and the runner will take off. That's Brantley. Altuve, while he was in there, finally got that first All-Star game hit. His last time up was 1 for 3. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, ball 4. Just down and away, 2 on, 2 out.
Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and Colorado all came in the last 10 games 8-10, with Boston being 8-2, with Boston being 9-1 and 12 of their last 13. So the break came at the wrong time for these teams who were rolling coming into it.
Now it's Haniger. Mitch swings and misses at that pitch that was up, strike 1. Haniger leads the Seattle Mariners as Hader gets loose in RBIs. And a little helmet cam look as you try to catch Hader. Inside corner, strike 2. '67 RBIs not only lead the Mariners from Mitch, but third best in the American League. He's hit 18 home runs. Had 130 games played into this year. So a big piece of the Mariners lineup, and a guy who came to the team as part of the Gene Segura deal. And Segura waits on deck.
Yeah, the Mariners were winning every 1-run game that possible, it seems like, in the first half, and coming into the break they did lose 4 in a row, but what an amazing year they've had.
Ball 1 inside.
They lose Robinson Cano, and as a team collectively they went on a pretty nice run, stayed even with Houston for the most part till last week or two, and those 2 guys you just mentioned are a big reason of it. Of course, the closer, Diaz, 36 saves on a record-setting pace. That's outside, 2-2. So that ball that fell in and left, and after that Vasquez has had to work. A walk to Lowry. It was 0-2. Now it's 2-2 on Mitch Haniger. That's strike 3, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Felipe Vasquez. So it's still 2-1. It's time to stretch
here at Nationals Park. Another low-scoring All-Star game. Dominant pitching. We've seen 3 solo home runs, and that is it. And now for the introduction of God Bless America, let's join public address announcer Jerome Haruska.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please join us in honoring our country, the brave men and women of our armed forces, and all our veterans, as we welcome members of the United States Army Chorus to sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Fortnite? Of course I play.
Fortnite is the game.
My favorite dance? The rock, paper, scissors.
And the chicken.
Nothing beats the popcorn.
The classic. The great one.
Two to one game into the bottom of the 7th inning. NL coming to the plate. Play ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. To learn more, go to playball.org. Here's Lorenzo Cain, first at bat. Charlie Morton deals and a line drive into right. 1 pitch, 1 out as Haniger chases it down. Well, we just saw him doing push-ups.
You hit it too hard, baby. You hit it too hard.
We just saw him doing push-ups. I said, I don't see anybody having more fun than Francisco Lindor playing this game. Hi, Francisco.
What up, boys?
How we doing out there? You having fun
doing
tonight?
Great. I'm trying to figure out where you guys at.
We're straight up. Go to the home plate and then look up.
Up.
Way up.
What up,
hey,
boys?
hey, he's about to pitch. Why were you doing push-ups, first of all?
Because I hit that ball as hard as I could. It went absolutely nowhere.
The wind is up. The temperature's down, so you get to play in the best conditions.
Yeah, I didn't thought that out. I didn't thought that out when I went up to hit. I thought I had it.
We are here in the mountaintop press box. Here's a shot into the corner. Back at the wall. Tie game. Trevor Story has tied it.
You see? How come it's allowed? I don't.
A 2-2 game, and Story, the shortstop for the Rockies, shoots it out of here. Francisco, your counterpart, the other team's shortstop, just hit a rocket out of this place.
In less than a second, it went out. And mine, I hit it as hard as I could and just made it to a warning track.
Yeah, and on that pitch,
It's a good swing, though. It's a good swing.
Gomes looking for a breaking ball.
Second, it went out. Mine, I hit it.
Hey, as JT Real Muto steps in, I think you're doing okay, Francisco Lindor, with your 25 home runs. Come on, man, you're having a great year.
I'm blessed. I'm thankful. No, I can't complain. It would have been cool to hit a home run All-Star game. That's like a little kid's dream.
You guys came so close in 2016. Where do you sit now in 2018? You like your club just as much as you did back then?
Yeah. If you go back to 2016, nobody had us on the books. You know, nobody had us making it. Nobody had us winning it. All of a sudden, we make some good trades. We had a Miller. We had a Coco Chris. And had a few more guys in that trade deadline, and next thing you know, we're in the World Series. You know, so I believe in my team. We just got to make sure we make it to the playoff, and then once we're in the playoff, anything can happen.
You're talking about Andrew Miller. It seems like he's close to coming back, huh?
Yeah.
There's a swinging,
nasty pitch.
a swinging strike. Who are you most excited to hang out with these couple of days here in Washington, D.C.?
Trout, Mookie, Altuve. I told my guys, I was like, I love you guys, but I ain't trying to be with you guys in the All-Star break. No offense.
It is something that where you get to see somebody else's routine and you get to ask them questions.
Definitely.
And are you anybody in particular you're asking routine?
Pretty much everybody that I see, I talk to them to see what they're doing, how did they get better, how do they prepare day in and day out. You know, that's what it's all about. We all got the talent to do it. Is how consistent can we be with it? You know, how much do we work?
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Hey, be ready.
On Real Muto. In a late swing, another foul. Hey, how do you play shortstop and do what you do with that necklace around your neck?
It's All-Star necklace. This won't be there during the regular season.
Okay, good. So this is just a middle of July thing for you.
Yeah, it's celebration. You know, we're blessed to be here, and I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying the ride. I'm a little kid at heart.
I got to ask you, Francisco, with all the athleticism that you possess, what are your feelings about the shift, and how does that change your positioning when you have to go into a shift?
I don't mind the shift. I grew up with it. We're coming up through their system, we had shifts and stuff like that, so I don't mind them. They take away some of the hits though, and I like takes away. I don't like when they take mine away.
Yeah. I was going to say, it works both ways there. Here's a walk to Real Muto at the end of a good at bat. So Story ties it.
Yeah, I got him. Yeah.
You figuring out right now who's covering if he's
were to take off?
Yes. No, for a double play. Because I'm playing behind the mound, so I got Bregman. Instead of Larry taking it, I got Bregman so Larry can play a little bit deeper in the hole. This is positioning.
So with that positioning, as Ozzie Albies swings through that pitch, strike one, you've got to go to your left, get to the bag, and take a throw from the third baseman. I would imagine that's not that easy.
I mean,
for you it is.
Something you worked on, something we, like I said, wow. Do you see that curveball? I thought it was a ball all the way. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty close to the base right now, so I can get there. Sometimes when I'm more towards shortstop, yeah, I can make. Turn it! Go one! Oh boy.
So Lowry makes the play, no chance to go to second.
Wow.
And Albies.
I'm sorry if you was having to face that all the time.
Yeah, man. Oh, baby.
Thank God you didn't have to cover second on a ball coming your way while we're talking to you.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared right now, but see if I make it.
Are you nervous talking to us?
No, I mean, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm always talking. When I'm talking to third baseman, to Jose, sometimes he ignores me, so I just talk to myself. So
here's Eugenio Suarez. It's a 2-2 game after the home run by Story, and now the go-ahead run is at second with one out. You know, the game doesn't count, but I still get the sense there's a lot of pride on the line, and you guys want to beat the National League here tonight to make it, I don't know if you know this, but it'd be 6 straight over the National League.
Really? Didn't know we had that many games in a row against them. But I do know no pitcher wants to come out here and give up runs, and no hitter wants to come out here and strike out. Everybody's trying to do something to look good and win that day, you know?
Right.
We're all having fun, but at the same time, we're trying to put up a show for everybody and for our family especially.
0-2 pitch hits Suarez. So now 2 on with 2 out.
Here comes my boy.
And here comes Aguilar. This guy's your guy, huh?
It's my boy. It's my boy. We came up through a system together.
And obviously he's an all-star, Francisco, but he has finally put it together, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. He put up good numbers in the minor leagues. He was very consistent year through year. He just never got the opportunity, and he found the opportunity with the Brewers, and it's showing. You know, he's a good hitter, and he's a good first baseman.
2 on, 2 out, and Aguilar takes a ball. So if he was up and nobody was on, would you play a little deeper than you are right now, or is this pretty much where you would be?
No, I'll play a little deeper. I'll probably be right around here against him.
He's 28 years old. He rips one down the line. Foul. He was the online vote winner in the National League. You saw where he ranks in all those categories. First in home runs. He's hit 24 this year, 16 last year, so it's all come together. Breaking ball is down, 2-1. So there's Francisco Lindor, who's wearing a mic.
250.
That gets away from the catcher. And Real Muto was thinking about pushing it toward the plate.
Papi, la bola te dio suave.
He holds at third, at second, and third, 2 out.
No llores, la bola te dio suave. ¿Dónde te dio? ¿Dónde te dio? ¿Dónde te dio? ¿Estás bien?
Ahí está la pelota.
Ya, ¿estás bien?
¿Qué es lo que es?
Tranquilo,
Vacilando con la
What'd you say to Eugenio?
So the ball hit himself. Don't cry. It's okay. I kissed the ball.
Oh, go get it, Lindor.
I got it. There you go.
Hey, thanks, my friend. Have a great second half.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
What a joy to watch. Francisco Lindor. This game is tied
going to the 8th. Okay, so we didn't even really get a chance to talk about the latest pitcher that just came into the game, and that was Morton. And now we do get a chance to talk about this left-hander Josh Hader, who is lights out for the Brewers in their bullpen, taking over here in the 8th of a 2-2 game, and Shin-Soo Choo is at the plate with a 1-1 count.
So nasty has his numbers. You see the amount of strikeouts. Can't imagine left-handers feeling really comfortable against Josh Hader.
Choo is another guy who's been at it a long time, 96 miles per hour. In fact, A.J. Hinch apologized in the clubhouse to left-handed batters just because he was going to play it straight, and he said there are going to be some left-handers in here who are going to have to face Hader, and I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. The 1-2 pitch skips in there, 2-2. 36 years old is Shin-Soo Choo, South Korean born. He's with Seattle, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Texas now, and he's reached base in 51 straight games. Second longest in franchise history to Will Clark. Here comes a 2-2. That's in the air to left, and we'll give him 51 and a half games, as this one doesn't count. Tonight's telecast presented by MasterCard and sponsored by Verizon. Now go mix and match family unlimited plans. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the Dell G5 15 gaming laptop, the hero you never saw coming. All right, well, nice enough to be the final person that we're miking during the game tonight and listening to us from out in his spot, saying I'm going to play pretty much straight up with that motion, is Charlie Blackmon out in center. Hi, Charlie.
What's up, guys?
Hey, we're having fun up here. You guys seem to be having fun in a good game. 2-2 in the 8th inning.
It's too exciting for me.
Oh, it is it? Really?
I would prefer like a 5-0 game at this point, but you know, that's what the people came to see.
Yeah, so you're not one for drama, but you are one for a great beard.
I got that.
Last year you sat down in a barber's chair in Miami for us, and they trimmed the beard, but didn't really take a whole lot off. That's a strike over the inside corner. And when we look at an older picture of you, and we're seeing video of you last year getting the beard worked on, you could literally do anything with that beard, shave, and get away with it. Nobody would ever know you're the guy.
I would be the new guy.
1-2 the count as Bregman fans on a pitch over the inside corner. Tell me about what has made you maintain this massive hair on your face.
Well, I don't consider myself superstitious, but I came into the year in 2014 with a beard, and that was the first time I made a big league roster. Played well that year, made my first All-Star team that year, and I'm a big proponent of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not superstitious, but maybe it's bad luck to not be superstitious.
Just a little stitious.
Yeah, not superstitious, kind of baby-stitious.
That's right.
What are you looking at when you're looking over your shoulder?
You know, in the outfield, you get really bored because you don't have any friends. So I got no friends. Like, everybody's far away. So, you know, you got to find ways to entertain yourself. I do a lot of grass kicking. I like watching TV. That's the biggest TV I've ever seen. So I look up there. I check my hole for gloves. Still there. And my glove for holes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to correct you, but then you know what? You're wearing a microphone in the middle of an All-Star game. You can say whatever the heck you want. Here's one into left off the bat of George Springer. And he is on with his first hit of the night. And now Gene Segura will be the hitter. Do you bother looking at scouting reports of these hitters, and is there positioning in a game like this?
That's a great question. I told someone earlier, everything that I do that makes me a good baseball player doesn't get done this week. There's no scouting, there's no routine. It's just kind of strap it up and play. And so right now would be a great time to see who's warming up and get a scouting report for next inning, which looks like nobody.
Yeah, nobody. Is that who you keep? You're checking in the bullpen right now?
Yeah, I like to check the bullpen, see who they got, see if he's looking at me. If he looks at me,
you got him.
I got him right where I want him. So, but there's nobody over there. So I guess it's Morton again.
So you are hitting, let's see, 1, 2, 3. You're hitting third next inning, right?
Yes.
Because my score sheet is a mess right now with all of these changes as Gene Segura takes low 2-1.
So we know the challenges and differences of hitting in Coors Field and the road. What would it be defensively? How much different is it when you're playing defense on the road versus at home in Colorado?
It's really different. The ball carries a little better. That's true. Also, the ball does not succumb to spin quite as much. It doesn't tail, you know, like a ball hitting the gap is going to stay truer in Colorado as to where on the road it'll fade more. So when you go home road, you gotta be aware of that. And then also, these gaps in Coors Field are usually about a quarter mile away from me. And so physically, it's a lot harder on you to run it down.
The count's full now on Gene Segura. I bet you guys, you and Nolan Arenado, are tired of talking about altitude and comparing your stats at home to stats on the road. I would imagine that gets tiring. You're just a good baseball player, period.
Yeah, you would like to see guys just say, wow, he's a great hitter, and not have to be discounted for the park that he plays in. You know, there's a lot of guys that play in offensive parks, and then
that's foul.
A lot of guys that play in defensive parks, and you know, they can still be a good player. You drop Nolan Arenado in any part of the league, and he's an unbelievable player. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of burnt out talking about it.
You guys are 2 games out of first place. You're right there.
We're close.
This could be an exciting second half for you.
We did a great job at the end of the first half.
This one's to the right side, might be a play for Votto, and he dropped it. Had a chance up against the railing in front of the dugout, and you can see how frustrated he is he didn't come down with that.
And this ball's right in the corner, and he gets it in the palm, and then once it hits the railing, couldn't come up with it.
So I asked a center fielder earlier, I think it was Bryce Harper, if you can see the signs from center field that the catcher's putting down. Can you see them?
Occasionally you can see wiggles, and
that is wiggled out of here. Deep into left and gone off the bat of Segura. A 3-run home run to open it up 5-2. Smashed by the Seattle Mariner. Well, Charlie, it was too tight and too exciting for you a moment ago. You're on the wrong end of a 5-2 game now.
You guys are bad luck for me.
I thought you weren't superstitious.
I wasn't until you brought all this bad luck on us.
Well, unfortunately, Joey Votto feels terrible because that ball get caught, and this doesn't happen. But Segura on the happy end of a 3-run homer.
Just so you know, they did give an error to Votto on the play in front of the dugout, so he gets an error, and then Segura blasts one. Moreland takes a strike, so these AL All-Stars are doing against Hader what they can't do in the National League in the regular season. Hader's been virtually unhittable. Ball 2.
Yeah, we talked about 43 wins for each team, 2 ties. The runs coming into this was absolutely the same, and 2-2 in the 8th. Now the American League is trying to vie for their 6th in a row.
2-1 to Moreland. Lefty on lefty. Hey, Charlie, have you faced Hader?
Yes, he is. He's really good. I saw the ball okay because he's really deceptive. I just couldn't hit it. That's generally the problem with him.
That's an issue. 1 out, nobody on. The base is clear. How about Moreland just dumping one into left field? At what point, Charlie, are you going to rip the microphone and the earpiece off your body and throw it away? Because we've just ruined this whole inning for you.
This next batter's not a double play. You guys are done.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Here
All
comes
right, guys.
Dave Roberts.
All right, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Here's the home run by Segura. Hader knew it.
Segura knew it.
Teddy.
Wow.
Thanks,
just hammered.
He got into that one. Hey, you know who's a lot different is that Haniger. Did you have him years ago?
Take a break with pitching change. New man out of the pen when we come back.
Back to his swing, he's cleaned some things up, man. Right? It just looks a lot different than I remember when he was with the Arizona.
Well, Gene Segura got a second chance on a ball hit in front of the dugout that Joey Votto couldn't handle, went as an error, and then he took advantage of it with a 3-run shot. A hit by Moreland off the left-hander Hader that chased the Milwaukee Brewer, and now another left-hander, Brad Hand, will deal with Yan Gomes. Only one out in the inning, a runner at first. On the inside corner. Charlie Blackmon will just say goodbye. We'll wish you luck.
Thanks.
In your,
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, in your at bat coming up. You don't have a mute button. The rest of the world does. So I'll just stop yelling in your ear. You can take it off. And I wish you luck, not only in your at bat, but in the second half. Have a great second half.
Thanks, guys.
All right. He's one of my new faves.
Yeah.
I like him. He's got a lot of personality out there.
Can swing the bat.
Yeah, he can swing the bat. We'll go through some of his stats if I get the chance, which I never get the chance in these games to go through everybody's resume, but he can hit. One and two the count. 1 on, 1 out. And Hand gets a strikeout of Gomes. The MLB At Bat mobile app brings every baseball moment to your favorite devices. Catch it all season with the free MLB.tv Game of the Day, live radio broadcast, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today, your #1 app for live baseball. 1 on, 2 out. Leave the graphic up. Here's Brantley and a foul. Manage your dream team in franchise mode. Plus get weekly stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone. 0-1 the count on Michael Brantley. Nothing in 2 from Brad Hand, who, you know, if the Padres want to deal him, there are a lot of teams that would line up to get this lefty.
Yeah, he is a hot commodity, but probably be tough for the Padres to give up unless the package was really good.
That's outside. You see the good velocity. It's a terrific story for the 28-year-old. It was a waiver claim by San Diego from Miami, and he's in the first year of a 3-year deal. That is desirable for a lefty with his kind of stuff. 1-2 pitch. Brantley grounds to the second baseman, Albies, and the inning is over. Well, Joey Votto couldn't haul it in and went down as an error. So Gene Segura said, thank you. I'll just take one big swing and maybe be the MVP of this game. 3-run shot. They celebrate in the AL dugout. Don't hurt yourself, Gene. 5-2 AL. Telecast is presented by MasterCard and sponsored by Chevy, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. And by Samsung, do what you can't. Here's Joey Votto, who would like to get something started for the National League. Facing Charlie Morton. Morton is in line for the win in this game. Somebody you have a relationship with from your days back in Atlanta. You saw this guy as a kid.
Yeah, seen him grow up in the game and go through a ton of adversity, injuries, you name it, and now he's here in the All-Star game after winning the last 2 7th games for the Houston Astros. Think about that. He's won the last 2 7th games, the World Series 7th game, and he's in line for an All-Star in his first ever appearance. I'd say timing is everything in this sport.
Votto grounds to the right side. Lowry picks it up and gets the out. Just one more point about Charlie Morton. A.J. Hinch, his manager, what a rotation they have in Houston. When he told Morton, he was so excited to tell Charlie that he was going to be an All-Star. Morton received the news, was happy, left AJ's office, and then turned around and came back in. He said, wait, if I made it, who didn't make it? And AJ said, can you just enjoy this for a second?
Can you just not be selfish?
Can you not? Can you be selfish?
Yeah, lefties out. True. Diaz gets Kane, Story, Real Muto.
That's A.J. Hinch down there talking, and then he came back in. He said, well, I mean, I'd like to see Colin McHugh go. So if I don't go, could Colin McHugh go? Part of the good bullpen, at least front end of the bullpen for Houston. They have some question marks at the back end. Really, the only question mark the team has. He said, just be an all-star and stop. Here's Yelich, a fly ball into left center. Back at the wall, and it's gone. Christian Yelich will have that souvenir. And it's a 5-3 game. And that'll make all the Brewer fans happy as their guy just went deep in an all-star game.
They did a nice job waiting on a breaking ball. You see the spin, and when you wait and don't try to pull it, good things can happen. And Yelich, one of the bright young hitters in our game, checks in with a homer.
All right, here's our guy Blackman. Charlie. Pitch up and away, ball one. Let's go through some of these numbers for Blackman. What he did a year ago. He led the National League in batting average, total bases, runs, triples with that big outfield, and had a record for RBIs out of the leadoff spot with 104. That's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, especially in this day and age.
2-1. He is like the Astros Springer. Leadoff hitter with power, can start a game with a home run. 2-1. Good breaking ball from Morton, straight two.
Yeah, that side of the plate has been very generous for pitchers.
That's Ted Barrett calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief here tonight, working his second All-Star game. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. That's out number 2. Stay tuned after the game for the Chevrolet MVP Player Award presentation. And right now you have to figure that if things stay the way they are, Gene Segura with one at bat and one big swing will take that honor, but we'll wait and find out together. He's out at short. You could almost, John, field a team of American League shortstops.
Yeah.
And beat anybody on the planet.
It is a loaded position, and some guys deservingly were left off because they're just not enough. talking about Simmons in LA having a great season for the Angels. Bogarts. Didi Gregorius got off to an incredible start, having a monster year.
Morton has shown some nasty pitches here as Lorenzo Cain, who lined out his only previous at bat, is set up at 1-2. Correa, Lindor, Machado, Simmons, Gregorius, Bogarts, Segura. That's just in the American League. A strikeout ends the inning, and that will send this 89th MLB All-Star game into the ninth, 5-3 AL. Five-3 game now, and Brad Hand back to the hill, and a breaking ball drops in for a strike to Jed Lowry. Stay tuned after the game for the Geico postgame show. Lowry walked in his previous plate appearance. Then Mitch Haniger. And then Chu. By my count, bench is empty for the American League. And only Scooter Gennett is left for the NL. He's bothered by a little nagging injury, so they're trying to stay away from him. So I think both managers have done what they wanted to do, get everybody involved.
Yeah, it feels good when you can do it, and then you just hope the game goes accordingly, and there's not a wrench thrown in there that makes it difficult if this game were to tie up.
1-2. Lowry pops it up. Votto will handle this one. And a Bronx cheer from the crowd here in D.C. The summary. And you see the home runs tying for the most in All-Star game history. 4 times there have been 6 total home runs. It's a modern game tonight. 21 strikeouts, 6 home runs. Baseball in 2018. Hand is gone. Pitching change, and Ross Stripling, the right-hander, coming in the ninth. Ross Stripling, the right-hander, with 1 out here in the ninth inning. Base is empty. From the bullpen to the starting rotation for the Dodgers, as John said earlier, likely headed back to the bullpen as the innings start to pile up. But big reason why LA has a half-game lead in the NL West here at the break. As a starter, great ERA, 2.36, a ball and a strike.
He has a unique way of throwing over the top fastball, so he can live up in the zone without 97 with a good over the hand curveball. 12-6, as it would be looking at a clock. That's how it's going to break. And Dave Roberts, on this kid's first start for him in San Francisco, was treated to a no-hitter in which he had to protect him, taking him out of the game in San Francisco in the 8th.
But there's more to that story. 2 balls and a strike. Good pitch there. That was Dave Roberts' first year as manager. It was Stripling's major league debut. They're taking on the Giants, the divisional rival. He's on the road. He's got a no-hitter going. He's pulled from the game just because of the pitch count. The next day, Roberts is out with a morning walk, and somebody taps him on the shoulder and says, "Thank you for taking care of my son." And it was Ross's father who agreed with the decision to take his kid out of the game despite the no-hitter.
He's coming back from an injury, and Dave Roberts felt a lot better because he took a lot of heat.
Shattered bat. Haniger grounds out, 2 out. Hey, this fall, Thursday Night Football has a new home on Fox with a massive slate of marquee matchups, including Colts, Patriots, Eagles, Giants, Packers, Seahawks. Coverage on Fox begins in week 4 with Vikings at Rams Thursday, September 27th. It is not your grandchildren's Thursday night schedule. It's a new feel, new look on Thursday night, and we're pleased to have it here at Fox. Here is Shin-Soo Choo, who is 1 for 1, takes a strike. am excited to see Ozzie Albies hit the bottom of this 9th inning. Second baseman, 21 years old, from Curacao, and one of the most likable young guys I've had a chance to meet in this game in a long time. He was looking for people to introduce himself to in the clubhouse. Ball one.
Yeah, and depending on which side of the plate he will hit from will be depending upon which kind of bat he uses. He told us that he has a very big, heavier bat from the left side, lighter from the right side.
Natural hitter, right-handed, has more pop. He said if I was in the, and he wanted to be in the home run derby, he said I'd hit right-handed, but left-handed he's trying to plug the gap, and he's got the big bat that he swings. He is not a big guy, but when he met Jose Altuve in the hotel lobby, they both wanted to see who was taller. 2 second basemen, and Albies has him by an inch, which put a big smile on Ozzie's face.
Yeah, both him now and the young core players that Atlanta's putting together. It's going to be an exciting second half. I mean, Atlanta's ahead of the curve, as well as Philadelphia, and then Washington, of course, trying to get back where everyone feels they should be, and that's top of the division, but time will tell in that second half.
1-2 pitch from Stripling is popped up left side, out of play.
I'm excited about the second half, seeing which team, well, we think the Dodgers maybe have made the first move. We'll see. But there's some big moves to be made by some teams that are strengthening their position already in the playoff hunt. We'll see which ones get out in front and cause a chain reaction.
To the shortstop, backhanded pickup by Story, who is homered in this game, and 3 come to the plate in the top of the 9th. Diaz coming in to try and close it. 5-3, AL on top. Boy, this game is in such good hands with the young talent that has burst onto the scene. Gene Segura In his only plate appearance, rode one out of here for a 3-run shot in the 8th inning, and that's the difference in the game. It's now a 2-run game. And Edwin Diaz, who's been lights out, I don't know what phrase do you want to put to it. He's got 36 saves leading baseball.
Super dominant, has been throwing more strikes with his fastball, getting ahead, cleaning up his mechanics, and now he's as confident as they get. You know, these are young, dynamic arms put in situations, and only time will tell how you handle them, and certainly he has gone to the next level.
He's got a slider with depth. He has command. All-time record for saves and a oh, watch out, man.
Got a little ahead of himself there.
Yeah, thank God Trevor Story got down. Ooh. Oh, goodness. Scary moment here. Now the 2-1. 3-1. The all-time record for saves in a season, Francisco Rodriguez with 62 in 08. This guy's got 36. That's a strike. These guys with the cell phones, they know this game's on TV, right? I mean, they can just ask for a copy of it.
It's the freedom to do something you really can't do in a regular season game.
Good point. 3-2. Watch out, cell phone crew. Somebody got a great shot of that on their phone. Still having fun. Story trying to get on. It's just a 2-run game, and he chased, struck him out, one away. Batter will be Real Muto, who's kind of the one guy that the Derek Jeter regime has hung on to with this roster purge. At least to this point, JT Real Muto is a real good piece behind the plate for the Marlins.
Yeah, trying to navigate some young pitchers and find out who they have. But to your point, the Marlins are in that mode where I guess Houston was and Chicago was, and seems to be the new theme of baseball. Rebuild, reboot, try not to make it 6-7 years long.
Well, I'm glad we went through the Albies stuff because Scooter Gennett has come into the on-deck circle. So Scooter was picked up off waivers by Cincinnati, former Brewer. What a run he's been on. His numbers are stunning. He signed for another year, or they have Gennett going in front of Albies, at least at this point. That is just up and away. Sometimes we're at the mercy of where these defensive replacements hit. So we'll see if Gennett, who's been bothered by an injury, will get that at bat. It certainly looks like it. 3-1.
Cincinnati's in an interesting place. Rickleman takes over. They played much better baseball. Got off to a horrible start.
That's a 1-out walk. Tying run will come up.
And yet they have 3 representatives on their team. You don't usually see that in the last place team, but that's how good offensively they have been for the Reds.
Well, this has kind of been true to form as well. Last 6 All-Star games as the American League tries to wrap up its 6th straight win. The Midsummer Classic, it's just been, the offense has been shut down for the National League.
I'd be sitting all over first pitch fastball. Scooter looking to tie it up with one swing.
Oh, back knee. Look out at 97, ball 1. So a waiver pickup and a guy who signed for another year and a guy who, if the Reds were to fall further back over the next couple of weeks. Here's one into right. Back at the wall. This thing is tied. Jeanette. His red hot roll continues. What a year he's had.
Well, he did. He sat on a fastball and he didn't miss it. And we're right back where this series started. Tied up in every single category. And now the nightmares begin for each manager. Fastball inner half and he crushed it.
How about that little pinch hitting appearance? Now Suarez, another Cincinnati Red. They finished that first half red hot. Scooter Jeanette. It's the first home run off this right-hander Diaz since the first week of May.
His teammate Segura's like, oh, I'm so close to that trophy.
That's right. Here's the 0-2 inside, and so Jeanette, as we said, he's been bothered by some ailment that Dave Roberts didn't go into with us, but he did pinch hit for Albies. Suarez strikes out, 2 down. Here's that pitch again from Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, one thing you can't do. Down and in and the inner half plate to a left-hander, especially a left-hander with power. And he used the power of Diaz in a rare moment where Diaz just didn't make the pitch.
Nice at bat, baby.
Here's Aguilar. More than capable of untying this game. Takes a strike. NL leading 24 home runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. So a waiver wire claim ties it on that shot by Scooter Jeanette. That was Cincinnati, and here's another waiver wire claim. Strike 2 on Aguilar.
I tell you, when he makes connection with the baseball, his swing looks like not only powerful but short, and just looks like he could hit the ball out of the stadium.
Check swing on 1, up and in. 2-2. Well, you're right. There's some consternation down in those dugouts with a tie game here in the bottom of the 9th because of the pitching situation. Here's one into center. Back on the track is Springer. This crowd thought they had seen 2 home runs in the 9th. Instead, they see 1. A guy named Scooter has tied it at 5. Well, some of tonight's All-Stars are back in action on Fox on Saturday. We'll get into the matchups. The big one, Cardinals and Cubs, Angels, Astros. But here's Bregman facing Stripling. And the reason why we say there's consternation in the dugout, and I know that was the word at the right on the tip of your tongue.
It actually was.
These guys are so freaked out about a tie game that they're told by Major League Baseball to hold a pitcher back. But if you're AJ Hinch and you're Dave Roberts, you've got other teams' players in your care, and you want to make sure you return them healthy and not worn out.
Right.
And so it becomes a little tricky and dicey. Bregman, 2-2. So by my count, the AL has Trevor Bauer left, Garrett Cole, and his manager is here, and AJ Hinch, Craig Kimbrell, and Jay Happ. Here's Bregman into left center field. Back at the wall and gone. Forget the tie. It's 6-5. That is the 8th home run of this game. The most all time, and Alex Bregman has untied it.
We've gotten to know Bregman through his manager.
Here's Springer into right center field at the wall. That is gone. 7-5 AL. And a couple of Houston Astros go back-to-back in the 10th.
Well, you know AJ's got to be thrilled. Those are his boys that he's been watching all year.
Now Gene Segura in his second plate appearance hit a 3-run home run his first time. One ball, one strike. George Springer with 15 home runs in the first half, 10 of them leading off. It's kind of his specialty, and here in the 10th, after his teammate went deep, he provides the 6th back-to-back home run experience in All-Star game history. How about Segura just hitting seeds out there? 2 for 2. Let's go back to the first one off the bat of Bregman.
Ball up, short stroke to the ball, and one of the most confident players in all of baseball, Mr. Bregman, and then a slider that Springer so strong, hit it like a left-handed pull hitter.
The postseason ended in 2017 with the Astros and the Dodgers battling, and here in the All-Star game the following July, it's the Astros getting the better of the Dodger on the mound in Ross Stripling.
The Astros are good, and obviously you don't have to see that in their record. They're just a very quality team all the way around, and the only weakness has been the bullpen. It's good in numbers, it's just not good at the end of the game. It's cost them, and look for them to make an improvement in their bullpen, possibly adding a closer to the mix.
Here's a 1-1 with a runner at first, nobody out, nobody up in the bullpen for the National League, by the way. This is Stripling's 10th. 1-2. know, they talk about run differential in the game now. The Astros, first half plus 188. It's the best run differential at the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Since
friendly
1939.
Friendly game.
I said him.
Breaking ball is hit down the line and left and foul.
It's insane what they can do as a team. And they were missing these two guys. When you think about what they added both last year and this year, they have become the most complete dominant starting rotation in baseball.
Here's a 1-2, another hit through the right side off the bat of Moreland, and going first to third is Segura. Came the throw, but no chance. And that's 4 straight hits. Dave Roberts is standing next to Rick Honeycutt, his pitching coach, probably wondering how much more are we going to let Stripling suffer out there here in the 10th.
Finding the hole easy for Segura to go first and third. Just in cruising speed.
So Stripling will deal with Yan Gomes. Took over for Sal Perez. He's 0 for 2. Batting in the 9 spot, takes a strike. Strike 2. And in an era with all this offense, the Astros go 1 through 5 in their rotation. You saw the graphic with Verlander, who was added in August last year, and Garrett Cole, who was added over the offseason. Astros are allowing just over 3 runs a game. That's out number 1. And the 3.15 runs allowed per game, the fewest by any AL team at the break since the introduction of the DH in 1973.
Yeah, most of their losses, and you expect a couple of them to be this way, most of their losses, they just haven't scored. They haven't scored for Verlander, hardly at all. And, you know, when they figure out and get Correa back, and of course they lost McCann, which was a big blow to a knee injury.
Here's Brantley looping one in the air to left, tagging at third Segura, and Yelich can't get it out of his glove. 2 out, another run. It's 8-5. Let's go quickly down to Ken Rosenthal.
George, Alex Bregman's a very confident young man. How do you expect he's going to react to this All-Star homer?
I think he's going to enjoy it for a long time. He deserves it, man. He works hard for it, so I'm happy for him.
All right, you got up there right after he hit his. What was your thought process, and how excited were you to see the ball go out?
Yeah, man. You know, it's just kind of one of those things where he had a big swing, and kind of I'm looking to hit a ball hard and have a lot of fun in there, and was able to you know, not miss it.
It was like Astros Dodgers all over again. Thank you, George. All right, Joe, back to you.
All right, thanks, guys. George, one of the real good guys in this game. As Lowry fouls it away. Springer was the World Series MVP. Hit 5 home runs against the Dodgers last October, including a 2-run shot in Game 7 in the 2nd inning. 5-1 win. And Bregman was one of the stars of that crazy Game 5. Had the game-winning hit in the 10th. And he hit 4 home runs last postseason. For a young kid, confident or not, he's pretty good.
He is, and he heard some trade rumors early on about them moving him, and he took it personal and had a monster June leading into this All-Star game.
And strike 2 on Lowry, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. You saw Jay Happ getting loose. It's an 8-5 game. Stripling came on in the 9th, got the final 2 outs. Probably didn't think he was going to have to go back out there. He did, and was greeted with back-to-back home runs by Bregman and Springer.
Well, the challenge for anybody who goes to an all-star game, especially their first one, they want to experience it. You can't let it define you one way or the other, and certainly they'll talk to him and remind him that your monster first half is going to continue in your second, regardless of the outcome that you like or don't like in an all-star type game. I remember Glavine, you know, had one of those games where it just didn't work out, gave up a bunch of runs, and all he did was went on the second half to win the Cy Young. Everyone thought that would affect him in his confidence. I believe it was in San Diego that it happened, and he just went back to business as usual in the second half and won that Cy Young.
Here's a 2-2. Lowry grounds to Votto. That'll do it for the top of the 10th. 3 runs put up on the board. A couple more home runs by a couple of Astros. AL. Eight-5 game. American League back on top, trying to win their 6th consecutive All-Star game and their 9th over the last 10. Votto into right. That ball is belted and gone. And it's an 8-6 game as Jay Happ is greeted by Votto with a shot into right.
Predetermined first pitch fastball, and he let it go. All of a sudden, without that wind blowing straight in, this ballpark is looking small in the last couple innings. Lefty on lefty, cannot leave it over the middle to Joey Votto.
Yelich trying to follow suit, fouls it away. Jay Happ is looking for the save, and it would be his first in the big leagues. Starting pitcher for Toronto. That's a strike, 0-2, and could very well be on the move before the trading deadline. As we've talked all night about Machado, Happ is on that list too.
He'll be very sought after, especially a left-hander in the American League East, let's say, if that's the direction certain teams like the Yankees want to go.
First-time All-Star at the age of 35. Had a couple of poor July starts. Free agent to be. Is 1-2. Good pitch down and away, 1 out.
Easy mechanics after a couple fastballs. Here comes the slider. Tremendous late break. Great tilt on that pitch. You can see those seams coming together. A big circle slider is not good for a pitcher. Good for a hitter.
Career high as far as strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. And here's Charlie Blackmon getting to face the left-hander. Blackmon 0 for 2. 1-0 pitch. Strike 1. Pretty free and easy from Jay Happ. And sitting right there in the low to mid 90s. Reaching for it. Moreland grabs it, steps on, 2 out. And the American League is 1 out away from winning for the 12th time over the last 15 games over the NL.
And I would think Lorenzo Cain is going to swing at this first pitch fastball from the style of, looks like he leans back to hit it. Puts everything into his swing.
Strike 1.
Painted the inside corner with that fastball.
Ball and a strike. If Cain can reach Trevor Story, who has homered, that came in the 7th, and at the time tied the game 2-2, would represent the tying run. NL down to its final strike.
Hard to believe we've seen 11 runs from the 7th inning on.
We have. The ball is jumping out of here now. 1-2 pitch. Little fly ball into right. Long run. And there to end the night is Haniger. And the American League wins it 8-6 in 10. Edwin Diaz went from the save to the win. Ross Stripling suffers the loss, and Jay Happ has his first save in his MLB career in a 3-hour, 34-minute game.
We definitely saw the theme of baseball. Power, power, and power. A lot of home runs, a lot of strikeouts. And an exciting American League squad who's kept their modest winning streak together.
8 runs on 13 hits, no errors for the American League. 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the National League. And while we wait to check in for an interview down on the field, let's listen to sounds of the game from tonight.
Brett got him. No way. Brett got him too. You're back. Kids are back.
Another proud night for the Houston Astros franchise, and AJ Hinch is with Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. AJ, like a World Series flashback out there, the back-to-back homers off the Dodgers pitcher.
Right.
What was it like for you as the manager of Alex Bregman and George Springer, seeing them hit those home runs?
You know, I'm just so proud of these guys to enjoy this moment. You know, I mean, the World Series obviously great. To see these guys in the dugout interact with all these great players from around the league, genuinely just fired up to be here and then come up big in those moments. I've seen it before. I haven't seen it before in an All-Star game like this. Pretty proud of them.
Gene Segura, That was about the most excited I've ever seen a player after a home run. How about you?
It is, because again, I think these guys, they have these friendships and these connections with players from around the league, and the countrymen, the genuine love for each other, love for the game. You get a big moment like that, the crowd's going crazy. Segura wasn't sure when he was going to play. I didn't plan on playing him at shortstop. He thought he was going to get one at bat. Ends up getting a huge at bat, another single later in the game. Everybody loves him. I love when players show their personalities today.
AJ, thanks very much. Joe, back to you.
All right, thank you. What a night for this 89th MLB All-Star Game in D.C. We saw 10 home runs, 5 for each side. And we saw 10 innings and another win for the American League. The AL has now won 6 straight. When we come back, the Chevy MVP Award will be handed out on the Geico postgame show.